begun. The stream has.
Yeah.
Yep.
Has it?
Looks like it has.
Oh, cool. I like that. I like streaming,
Yeah.
podcasting.
Pretty good.
I'm going to talk into this podcast.
What? No shit.
Mine still says I'm fine. Where are we at? Come on.
Come on.
Come
man.
on. Come on. One waiting. Come on. Where's that stream?
Where's my stream?
Where's that stream?
Where's your stream at?
Where's your stream at?
Where's your stream at?
Where it at? I found it.
I see it.
Man, look at that hologram man. He looks so angry up there. It's like, oh!
Well, why, how come you have stream and I don't have stream?
That man is a hologram. Why, that man's a hologram.
There he was. Hologram!
Look out, it's a hologram, man.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's Halloween.
I bet he had a Halloween. Let's retweet that.
Hologram. Look out.
Hologram.
Here comes a hologram.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Why no peach?
Hollow bee.
No.
16 grams of hollow beef.
Bad.
Meltdown Comics and the Nerd Melt showroom in Los Angeles are closing.
Wait, what? I didn't understand a word you said.
It's a famous comedy slash
Well,
comic book shop.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh,
Not that I didn't understand it. It was kind of randomness, and my brain
Sorry.
didn't begin to process.
no, it was Meltdown Comics and the Nerd Melt showroom, which I guess is part of it.
Okay.
It's closing down.
Oh, all right.
It's a shame.
Comic books are dead, man.
Yeah.
Comic book movies, that's where it's at.
They just need to start a comic book movie.
They really should.
It's where the
That'll
money
work.
is. It really is.
So,
Yes?
Steve's here. We should just podcast.
Just do everything Steve wants, huh?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
why not?
Okay, all right.
He didn't ask. I'm
Yeah.
just saying Steve's here, so
Oh, okay.
it's a show.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we can.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
Well,
You know.
There's 4 other people not saying anything, so.
If you have a
That's-
structured
That's us.
Oh.
That's us viewing the stream.
Oh.
if you have a structured podcast and you need content now, call BMFcast.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
This week on the BMFcast.
Did you post it on the Discord? You want me to do it?
Oh, I can post it on the Discord.
Do it.
Do you know my Discord?
You my Discord dad?
Once again, some random person in my office walking around with a dog. Immediately, it was, oh, hell no. What up, dog?
What's up, dog?
Wait, someone was in your office
Not
with a dog?
like in the office park. You know, we have other people around us. But like I walked outside and someone's like got a little tiny dog walking around.
Man, some days we have the dogs in the office. They're great days.
Like
Someday
everybody's dogs or just your
Well,
dogs?
no, just different dogs on different days.
Man, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like
It's like if people have to take them to the vet or something, and
yeah.
sometimes it's just way easier.
Well, like my old job, our office didn't participate because I think the building wouldn't allow it. But the main location that was their own standalone building, do their own rules. Yeah, people could bring their dogs to work, and I was like, every day.
Yeah, every day it's
No.
bullshit. Like
Well, I was just thinking, like, as a computer person, I was like, that place is gonna be filthy because, like,
Yeah.
so much dust and dog, dander and shit.
like
everywhere.
I've had to bring my dogs to work before.
Yeah.
And I would say the maximum is once a month. That's like the absolute most that you should ever be allowed to bring your dog to work. Because the problem is, like, everyone, like, morale shoots through the roof, productivity drops through the basement.
Yeah.
Like, nobody does shit because everybody's like, check out the dog.
Yeah.
And the dog's like, oh my God, you love me. And yeah. So, yeah. Somebody brought a puppy in one time.
Oh yeah,
Like,
forget it.
yeah. And
It's
we're
done.
letting it skitter around on the, on the freshly waxed floor. So that puppy couldn't do shit. But it was like, I'm so excited anyway. And everybody's like, this is the best day of my life.
Did you not see that the window was open?
That was when I
This
almost
guy-
met my wife.
This guy gets it.
Did your day start at Shakespeare in the Park?
Yeah. But no, just watching a puppy skitter around on the floor trying to find purchase. But failing.
A couple weeks ago, somebody or a group of people that are training therapy dogs brought the therapy dogs in. So they're like super well-behaved dogs.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
They're awesome. They just sit there and like, you could pet me now.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you'd like,
They're like, hey.
if that would make you feel better.
Like if
I'm excited
Abby
to see you.
Yeah.
if Abby didn't have like the world's worst breath because we can't put her under to clean her teeth.
Yeah.
Breath.
Yeah, like she would probably be a really good therapy dog because she doesn't care. Like she's like, you want to hold me? That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll lick your face, but my mouth smells like a bait shop. So deal with that, sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, when those dogs came in, they're like, the therapy dogs are here, and everyone, the entire department,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a wave, like a
100%.
tsunami of idiots, just rolled over the entire department and congregated around the dogs. And the dogs are like,
Yeah, man.
cool.
Therapy dogs are good.
The people were losing their minds. I think that got the people more worked up than like
Yep.
than the therapy was supposed to help with.
Yep. Anyway,
Dogs.
should we do a podcast?
Dogs are great.
The
Yeah.
dogs are
We
really.
should do a podcast about dogs.
Okay.
I like cats too, but dogs are pretty awesome.
I like
really,
dogs a little
pets
better.
are good. Just pets.
I'm on a case-by-case
Pets
basis.
you can
with-
pet
Yes.
are good pets.
Ooh, that's I got a business idea.
Pets you can pet.
Pets you can pet.
This does not involve scooters, does it?
No, it does
Okay,
not.
good.
Shh. I don't want.
I know. I know.
Don't want that secret to get out.
Okay.
We have several options depending on the legality of it. And,
Right. Where in Mexico, Central, or South America
Mm.
you go.
right.
Yep.
All right, let's do podcasty thing. Keep getting further and further away. Look at that. You're barely even in the camera anymore.
I'm totally here. I'm sitting the same place I always do.
He looks about where he usually
I
is.
know.
At,
Just like
at least
all
from
the-
my angle.
All this space that we could be closer.
I'm good.
Hold me closer, tiny chuckles.
I'm good. Start the show.
Tiny chucker.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
Hey.
BMFcast.
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 How about that?
Episode 416.
A podcast.
Numbers.
Yep.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we talk about a...
What do we do?
I don't know what the fuck we do anymore. I've
We
only
do.
said this 415 fucking
We
times.
talk about it.
416 times the charm.
Yeah, here it is.
Let's start all the way over. I'll just start with it. So what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie, come in here and talk about it for the first half. And then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot jocks.
jocks.
Yay.
Robot jocks.
Robots.
It's pretty good.
However, there are bad movies. Doesn't stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in giant bags of trash in which we would like to put them.
They're pretty bad.
It's a good place for them.
Yeah.
We don't like them.
Tie them up. Throw them out.
So, we have no theme. We're flying by the seat of our collective pants.
We got movies.
and we have movies. That's our
Hey,
theme.
we're like FX.
And we got led to 1995's Hologram Man.
We did, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, led right to
How
it.
did you unearth Hologram Man?
I just, I have a pile of movies, and was just like, I'll just watch this for my own amusement, and fucking everything blew up in the first 90 seconds, and I was like, oh, hell no. Let me push stop on this right now.
Well, fair enough.
Was it the fact that Nate Tiny Lister
Tiny.
was
Tim.
it was in the credits?
His name is Tim.
Nate Zeus Lister.
Yeah. Zeus.
Tiny Tim Lister. I don't know what his name actually. Neither of those may be his first name. He might not be. He might have gone with Tiny, and then he's like Tiny Tim, and then Zeus. I don't know.
Yeah.
The man last name Lister. That is probably true.
BMFcast alum,
Right.
famously known for Dracula 3000.
No.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Tiny Lister.
So confusing.
Nate, Tommy, Tiny, Tim,
Tim Tiny
Zeus
Tom.
Lister.
Little Timmy Pooh.
Yeah. We should get a plot summary.
Tippy
Oh, right. Yeah,
Tyler.
that's
Yeah.
shit. Yes, we
All
usually
right.
do that right
Sorry,
here.
I was getting into how we
How
discovered
we found it, yeah.
Yeah.
the man of hologram.
Right.
Maybe it's because of this fantastic plot summary, which
Could
I'm
have been.
about to read.
Okay.
5 years after the mad terrorist Norman Gallagher was sentenced to holographic stasis, he is given a parole hearing. But an equipment failure engineered by his cronies transforms the criminal into a living hologram with godlike powers. Now, stopping him is up to Kurt Dakota, the man who, as a police rookie, was responsible for arresting Gallagher.
Yeah, Dakota.
Dakota,
Yeah.
and it's not like a state.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not. It's decode. Is in the computer.
Yeah. DECODA. Dakota.
Yeah, which we didn't know until the
Dun-dun-dun-dun,
end credits.
dun-dun-dun.
And then you're just like, well, that's dumb.
Yeah,
But there's a reason why it might be dumb. It's written by the guy who plays the bad guy in the film.
Yes.
And he's a big meathead.
Yes. With white guy dreads.
Yeah.
They're braids, and they're really bad. It's a really bad hair thing. I don't know if it's a hair piece or what, but it's bad. It looks bad, and he should feel bad about it, and nobody should ever do it.
I think in 1995 he was just living high. He wrote, produced, starred, just fucking went for it.
Evan Lurie.
Yeah.
His fingerprints are all over this movie.
Yes, they are. When he's not yelling, he sounds like David Schwimmer. And when he is
Yeah.
yelling, he sounds like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
have a lot of fun with that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's some other people in William Sanderson.
Yes.
Mhm.
He's been in things.
He has.
Well, we'd
Like
know him from Blade,
Blade
Runner,
Runner,
of
yeah.
course. But
Evan Lurie got into a tragic car accident, which turned him into Tommy Wiseau. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
No, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He lost too much muscle mass.
yeah,
Tragic car accident in a coma for 8 months.
he
A lot
was.
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, I thought I was like, oh man.
Oh, I feel bad all of a sudden.
Yeah,
but no,
I thought he was going to be like B.J. Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein, just come out of
Yeah.
a coma 15 years,
Yeah.
fucking jacked, ready to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah,
But no,
probably not. I'm gonna shoot down that theory.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay.
yeah. John Amos almost also shows up briefly.
He does. He almost shows up briefly.
Yeah,
He does show up briefly.
yeah.
He's-
He does.
He's in the pre-hologram sequences
Yes.
of the film.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that my favorite thing there's plenty of things that could be my favorite thing about this movie, but
Okay.
I like a time jump movie like this where you have intro part and our main guy Dakota is the rookie super by the book guy. Like John Amos is like this shit. You
Yeah.
gotta throw that rule book out. Like these guys don't play by rules.
He literally carries around the rule book,
Yeah.
the police handbook, in his coat pocket.
And so it's just like, gee, I know that's not regulation. You can't do this, and then they get the 5 years later time jump. We'll talk about what happens at the beginning, but then it's just like, in 5 years he becomes the loosest of cannons, and I fucking love shit like that. Anyway, in the opening bits,
Yes. The opening 25 minutes.
the opening starts in the middle of a gun battle, where it's just it's police versus gangs, and cars blowing up, and they've got the wedge car from Fast 6 or whatever it was, Furious
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
The $45 version of
Sure,
that car.
yes. But yeah, it just drives in like under a, because cop cars and other cars have just been blowing up, and it's just like, I'm going to drive under and lift the flaming cop car out of the way. Mm-hmm. And, cops are real bad at taking cover in this movie. That will be a running theme.
Oh, man.
So, like, they'll do all right, and then the second they're like, hey, I actually killed a guy. Let me get out from I'm dead. So, like, every time, it's just, I was hiding in a perfectly safe space, and then I came out here and started shooting, and I'm dead immediately.
A lot of them don't even bother hiding in a perfectly safe space. They just stand near an object.
Sure.
And that's theoretically supposed to save them.
I appreciate that our hero in this movie starts this first gunfight going, oh shit, oh fuck, no, oh god damn it, no, fuck.
Where's our backup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are
like
the backup.
basically ensigning out almost.
Yeah.
And John Amos was like, just chill out, man.
He's like, hold on, I got the backup right here. And reaches in and pulls out his special gun, which is...
It's a Deagle. It's a Desert Eagle.
But he's got an extended magazine, and it's got red cap bullets, and he's like, that's not regulation. And he just gives him a look, and he's like, watch this shit. And it's basically a little mini missile launcher at this point, because... It kind of has a trace like a ray gun, but it just blows shit up immediately.
Every car in the shot it gets blown up.
Because he's not shooting at the people; he's shooting at the cars they're kind of sort of hiding next to. Like the bad guys rarely ever take cover; they're just standing next to things.
The police are just much worse shots, in this movie.
Yeah, the police are like stormtroopers basically, and so he's just blowing up everything. And that, like I said, the wedge car comes in, plows through the car they were sort of hiding behind, and then he just kind of does the wait for the right shot and blows it up too. It's like they brought this car in, it drove through a couple things and then immediately gets blown up. And they find one dude who's like kind of barely still alive.
Yes.
And
who else is mostly dead?
and they're just like, tell us what we want to know. He's like, I'm not a squealer. And they're like, all right, fuck him, let him burn.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, I know something. Like, we find out that the bad guy that they're chasing is Slash.
Slash Gallagher.
Yeah. He's just like, Slash is going to try to hit the governor or something like that. I don't know where. And I'm like, well, probably where the governor is. But.
Yeah, probably where he is going to be.
And so rookie Dakota has to like carry him out, and Johnny was like, fucking rookies, man, saving the bad guys.
Yes.
So and immediately they're with the governor now, like they're with him, plane landing, and they're like, sir, threat on your life. And he's like, I don't play.
Another day in the city.
Yeah,
That's
I don't play
me.
by the rules, not changing anything. It's like we're going on our standard route in the limo.
Yeah.
And of course, like they set up a roadblock and. One of the henchmen is like dressed like a little old lady crossing the street, and he's the dude. There's an eye patch guy, and he just kind of stands there and is like, "Ha ha!" And then there's a Slash is taking.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm skipping over the fact that like we cut straight from this gun battle to Slash having sex. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
90s sex. Like
yes,
like 90s Skinamax. Hey, I'm fucking her stomach. Sex.
And that will, you know what? I'm gonna put that in the point for he was burned and became Tommy Wiseau column. So
this is making sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to fuck.
I wasn't immediately shooting it down. I'm gathering the facts, and I'm going to put that in the possibility.
I'm going to add one more thing to the fact pool. Evan Lurie hasn't worked since 1997 under the name Evan Lurie. Think about it.
So he went to San Francisco for a while, met his friend
Greg Sestero.
Yeah,
bought a leather jacket, and here we are.
And two belts.
Interesting.
his braids came undone. He has to dye them all the time.
Okay, we'll keep running.
Once
with
there
this.
was a boy who got into an accident and couldn't go to school because his hair was white or whatever.
That checks out. Checks out. Yep.
Yeah. So he dyes it black now because he's embarrassed.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yes,
Follow the money.
He's having awkward looking sex with a lady.
He does.
Awkward
Yeah.
naval sex.
And that just goes on a while. And it's like that's when someone was like, "Yeah, this is the guy that wrote the movie." And it's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just immediately he's on a bus that he's kidnapped we've just killed the bus driver and taken over the bus.
He's on the speed bus.
and-
He's taken hostages on the speed
Yeah,
because
because all the people are just
Yeah.
why
old ladies, dudes in suits.
Why don't we open up the back door and just jump off?
Yeah.
But yes, and lady that was previously naked is now with him on the bus, and he's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the first time you could kind of see it in the awkward sex scene, but this is the first time it's like, oh yeah, what is up with your hair?
Yeah.
It's like now it's daytime, and it's like, yeah, we don't have the Skinamax filter thing going on, and it's like,
Well, to be fair, during the sex, the focus was on the titties.
My
focus was on the titties.
I look around. I kind of went like, "What's up with that dude's hair?" Because at first I was like, "That's kind of a weird, juxtaposition that this guy was just because
You thought it was the hero.
Yeah, because Dakota's like also got long hair.
Yes, it is two massively ponytailed dudes going at each other through this movie.
Dakota looks like the homeless man's Joseph Fiennes. just
all right.
greasy and shitty
and with a patchy beard, like
Yeah.
you can never just tell like where he fucked up shaving.
but
It's
he's
just
got
like
he's got like the same eyes and
Yeah.
kind of the same beard.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, two leads who are basically the same person.
A little bit. Well, like I said, because you don't realize who this is. There's no setup for
Right.
this, and
Right.
so he's just immediately on the bus, and like I said, they're riding in like he's super into it. Like, yeah, we're gonna fucking murder the governor.
Yep.
And they also have a semi, because the semi blasts through one cop car and immediately sets it on fire.
Splits
semi-
it in half.
The semi also has like armor and shit all
Yep.
over it, and the
Yeah.
like the rear of the cab is quote unquote armored. It looks like just sort of
Yeah.
vinyl wrap or something.
Drives through a police car, splits it in half. It then explodes.
Yes.
pretty good.
And you need to get used to this because things fucking explode at everything's a Pinto in this movie. It just fucking ignites.
Also, I will say, like, granted, I'm sure these are not fully functional good cars, but the car destruction budget in this movie is strong.
It's high.
yeah, there was a whole lot of car destruction. Plus,
They must have gotten like a steep discount on both explosives and
Yeah.
decommissioned cop cars.
Well, and squibs, and
Yeah.
I mean, like the practical effect budget for just stuff we like in this is freaking huge. I mean,
Yeah, I just kind of wish somebody knew how to film any of it.
they do turn a lot of cameras on, and it's just
Yeah.
like you're going to get this from multiple angles, and sometimes at different times throughout the scene, so that you're seeing the same thing happen over a 2-minute time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of we saw that already.
Well, there's a lot of just editing that's forgets about geography.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
guys are shooting down and to the right, and suddenly the guy above them goes ah, and is shot and falls off a ledge. You know, it's kind of like, wait, did you had another version of that shot, didn't you? No,
No, they don't.
but yeah, it's pretty much a lot of that.
Yeah.
but yeah,
But yeah, this leads to
and of course, like the limo driver of the governor was a cop who immediately was like, "I'll jump out. And I won't drive the governor to safety. I'm going to jump out and help too," and immediately get shot. And so Dakota has to jump in the front seat and try to get away.
Yeah.
And
Now, before the attack, there had been lots of talk with John Amos of, hey, John Amos, you should probably retire because you're old.
yeah. Well, like, when's the last time you had a vacation? He's like, probably puberty.
yeah. Yeah, so it's just like, hey, you should let this young guy take over for you.
Yeah,
You're
go
old.
make babies.
You should retire. 2 days retirement. Yeah. He does tell John Amos to go make babies. Where I'm like, the guy's 60 and close to death. No, do not.
he's only going to have a cop's pension anyway.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
don't have babies.
Actually,
at this
the
point.
pension's probably really good. I mean, given the number of cops that die, it's a
Yeah.
group fund.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they all were contributing, and
Ah,
yeah,
Yeah.
It's probably cop pension really good in this future LA.
Yeah.
that's why he's getting everyone killed.
Saying.
But eventually, like, all the cops are out of the picture, and Hero Man has to take over the limo and drive it away, and now it's just bus versus limo. And immediately the bus, like, hits an overpass
Of course.
and shears off the roof.
Convertible bus.
Convertibus, as we call it in the trade.
Now, like, all the hostages should just jump off this bus. Like,
They were old people.
That lady
Chuck.
was like 90.
Yeah.
She would jump off and turn to
well,
dust.
there were extra opportunities for people to get the hell out of there. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
They should have jumped on the
Yeah.
roof and surfed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these people break a hip in the shower. They're not jumping off a bus, Chuck.
Fair enough. But yeah, he's just ramming the back of the limo. He's doing his best to keep control of this. And then there's a police barricade.
Well, Dakota is also. Not only is he driving, he's deciding he's going to look out the window and shoot back.
Right.
Like why John Amos and his super gun aren't doing that.
Nope.
Because it's a limo. There's no...
Yeah.
He can't see.
No super
But,
gun on the
but
limo.
what really pisses Slash off is that he shoots the girlfriend,
Yeah.
the stomach fucking girlfriend from earlier, and so this Slash does not abide this.
No.
And this implies that he had not been flooring it before then.
Yes.
Because he's suddenly like, oh no, now I'm going to ram you.
He's also wearing ski boots or something like that. They keep
Yeah.
cutting to a shot of his foot hammering the accelerator, like you would fuck a navel, I guess.
Yeah.
And they're like ski boots. Who wears ski boots when they're driving a bus?
Slash Gallagher.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, but they come to this cop barricade, which I'm not sure how that was supposed to work for the cops, considering that, the limo is the one leading the chase,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
making the
that'll
limo
be the first
stop
thing to hit the
means
barricade.
that the bus is just going to barrel through the limo.
Again, they were just trying to get maximum pension here.
Yeah,
Take out 2 more cops, more money.
but as we've said, action gets a little confusing at times.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is a
suddenly,
stunt that doesn't make sense.
yeah, suddenly the limo is jumping over a cop car that's exploding.
Yeah, it's corkscrewing over.
An exploding cop car.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And the bus is following through behind them, just barreling through the other cop cars that it then proceeds to make explode.
It's sort of Burnout Paradise-esque in that you get tapped from behind just a tad, and your car just goes spiraling wildly out of control, tumbling,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But yeah, it lands on the roof, and I think it flips back over to it skids on the roof for a while, and then like continues.
It normals
flipping.
out,
It
yeah.
normals out, but yeah, Dakota gets out, and John Amos he pulls John Amos out from the side where the governor was, and we're like, where's the governor? Well, apparently the governor got ejected as it was corkscrewing over.
I will say, there was a guy on the other side of the barricade, like to the left of the barricade,
Yeah.
who was like jumping out of frame just before things were exploding. So I don't know if that was supposed to be the governor or not.
I don't know.
But I was like, wait, what's that guy doing?
Not dying.
Yeah. But apparently he got ejected because they're like, where's the governor? And then slash gun to the head to the governor of like,
this
what you're
looking for?
on the other side of the bus. Yeah.
and I think. Did John Amos get shot first, or was he just fucked up from the?
He's fucked up a
the-
bit, and
from
then
the-
dude shoots him in the arm like immediately. Just like, hey,
Well,
guy.
yeah. Slash goes, I got the governor, put your guns down.
Yeah.
And John was like, hell no, we're not doing that. And
Yeah, he shoots him in the arm. Is like,
Yeah.
now you gonna put your guns down?
Yeah, because at that point, John Amos just goes, ah, God. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And then-
But
and then
he's
Dakota-
like, don't put the gun down, don't put the gun down, and
Dakota puts the gun down. So
Yeah.
then Slash, of course, goes, all right, we're giving the city back to the people. And the governor's like, or he says, you're going to give the city back to the people. And the governor's like, what? How? And he said, by doing this. And he shoots him in the head.
Yep. And they're both
To which
like,
Dakota
you son
goes-
of a bitch.
To which Dakota's like, ah,
Yeah.
God.
Jeez.
That wasn't in the
Put
rule
my
book.
gun down.
That's not what you're supposed to do.
this guy's not playing by the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Gallagher's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna Russian roulette. Let's do this. Come on.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And then he decides, he goes, 3 people, 3 bullets.
Well, I like that he's like, I'm gonna go first, and then he puts the gun up to his head. I don't like this game.
I don't like this game.
Who's going first? That's like the best part about it.
Such a
Is that he pussies out.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Tell you what, no, that's a bad idea. You're going first.
Yeah. And John Amos is like, fine, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
And
Click.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He's
then
like, what about you, kid? And then John Amos, he's like, you gonna take it for him? And John Amos was like, no. He jumps in front, and of course he gets shot, which
Yeah.
is like immediately like, no, Whitaker or whatever his name
Yeah.
is.
I do like the touch that as soon as Slash shoots him, he just starts going click, click, click to get through the rest of the bullets.
yeah.
But Dakota's able to get on top of him before that.
Yeah, they fight, and he knocks him down, and is like, arrest this guy, and
Yeah, and like he uses the bus door to slam his head, and apparently slices his face open,
Yeah.
which it is a detail later.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It is.
and it was like, I'm so and so, Vice or whatever, arrest this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, no, John Amos, don't die. Oh, you're dead.
Yeah.
And then it's
We meet Dakota's girlfriend.
yeah, like
Like they're-
they were in bed, and then this is when it was like all of this up to this point was just like, yeah, all right, crazy cops and shit, and then I was like, no, we're in the near future and about to be even more in the future because they're. No, actually, I guess they have the trial or whatever shit first. That's before the scene with the girlfriend.
Right.
Because they have the trial, and it's this whole thing where they're going to turn him in. They're going to basically like suck the life out of his body. Demolition Man frees his body, and then put his essence inside this little tube. And in 5 years, he's going to have a parole hearing. And in that time, they're going to reprogram the crazy out of him.
It's basically exactly Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what they did in Demolition Man,
Yeah.
right?
Except, they extract his consciousness out of his body. They don't just freeze him, and then they pummeled Wesley Snipes with inspirational messages when
Right,
he was
right.
in the blue goo.
But it's basically the same thing.
Pretty much.
Freeze,
Yeah.
rehabilitate.
But this is extract his brainwaves, put him in this computer, blast him with good thoughts.
and it's kind of done like almost in a voiceover
Yeah.
as they're showing the whole process
Yeah.
happening. But yes,
He turns into glitter dust in a little tube, a cylinder, and then it's like, all right, 5 years later.
Well, we see. Okay, so this is actually I like what they do here because they pull out to the cityscape of Los Angeles and they start talking about. You've seen like pictures and stuff about this biodome that they're building, and the news report says Well, it's gotten really bad out there, so the city has decided to go ahead and step up plans to build the biodome today. Construction starts now. It's going to take about 5 years. And then it just morphs to Future City. And it's just like 5 years later, the biodome is done.
And but it's only covering like half of LA.
Yeah, it's just the skyscraper part. Like the rest of it, fuck you guys.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is when we see Dakota and his
And also,
girlfriend.
they bother to show like a flying car coming in.
Yeah.
Flying cars never enter into it except for this establishing shot of
Not in the
future.
budget.
Yeah, no,
Not in the budget.
There's a little flying computer pod
Listen,
later, but
the budget was for Mazda MPV minivans
Yeah.
and
And
decommissioned police Tauruses.
because so 5
And
years.
those little like doorstop cars.
Yep.
5 years have gone by. We're at Dakota's house. He's got a girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh, you worried about today?" Blah blah blah. And
They're watching the news.
Yeah.
Like the CalCorp news.
right, which it's illegal to turn off.
Right.
but he turns it off because he's a loose cannon.
Yeah.
And
He's like, I'll write myself
But
a
it is-
ticket later.
It is established quickly that, like, in this conversation, multiple times, that corporation controls everything.
yeah, but
Just trust the corporation.
But you can tell he's a loose cannon because he was super like tight back ponytail
Yes.
in the beginning, and now he's let his hair down.
yes, he has. He doesn't give a shit anymore.
And well, he was also clean shaven. Now he has this patchy like George Michael beard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that because it's like that weird like is that painted on like why is it so
scene
like,
to scene, it looked real, and then it looked like I don't know what the hell. That
well, yeah,
was
but I
on your
mean,
face.
it's like it's shaved, but it's like super sculpted, but
Yeah.
poorly.
yeah,
you know,
it doesn't match on either side either. It's like one side's higher than whatever.
Oh, I aspire to that beard.
I spent a lot of
Every
time studying his beard, just trying to figure it out. Like, dude, what is happening? But so this just introduces her, and she goes to work at the CalCorp or whatever. She's she's one of the.
Apparently, her father is the one who
Yeah, she-
designed the process of
Yeah, and we saw
hologramizing
her
guys.
dad in the opening,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
not freezing.
putting him in
Yeah.
the glitter tunnel.
Yeah, but she shows up late,
tunnel.
and he's like, she's like, sorry, Dad, I'm late, and then
Yeah.
that's when we see William Sanderson, and it's like, you know, right away he's like, I did your work for you. Why are you always late? I got an appointment. I got to go. And it's like, gee, I wonder if something's up with him.
Yeah. Also, his name is Giggles, so of course something's up with him.
Yeah.
But so like on the way into work, as Dakota is going, he's in some I don't know what car it is that they've just folded plastic crap onto.
Yeah.
But you see the highway, and all of a sudden it's just every car is some dumb bullshit Wright Brothers prototype.
It's like they got all of the kit car people in Los Angeles to be like, give us your worst.
Yeah,
I gotta
we
admit,
wanna-
the cars remind me of the cars in like Robot Jocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's
awesome.
like, man, we got a budget, but we need future cars.
Yeah.
So figure something out.
But like the world
Make a bunch of
has
triangles.
Yeah.
changed in these
Oh, yeah.
5 years.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
not only did this corporation just take over, but like everyone's wearing dumb clothes and the cars are all stupid.
yeah, I mean, the opening feels like it takes place in 1995.
Yeah.
and this feels like it takes place in like 2025
In
or
the
something.
year 2000.
Yeah, it's
Like
way
the 2025 we imagined in 1995, not the 2025 we're actually going to get, which is just nuclear fucking wasteland.
right. Yeah, but I mean everyone's wearing like all the councilmen are wearing like dumb robes, and it's just like every time they walk in, you're like, what the fuck are you
Yeah.
wearing? Like when did this happen?
But we have a scene of someone else being rehabilitated,
Right.
Which is kind of how they explain the process is, and how the council or whatever the court decides.
Yeah, this is where the holograms play in.
Yeah, and at first we were confused because the hologram is so shitty that we're like, did they cut off
Yeah,
Slash's braids
Yeah.
and just like because it's this guy who's
And
like
also
oh,
his penis?
yes, because there's just
Yeah.
a shadow. Where
yeah, because like the hologram people are wearing like this white tannish leotard thing.
Yeah.
But the way the shadows always fall on it looks like they just got a fucking nutsack pouch built into this thing. And like there's no other detail on it.
Yeah.
It's like you can see kind of like the neck area and the fucking junk. And that's it.
right.
But this guy's like, oh man,
I learned so much.
yeah, I learned so much during my rehabilitation period. I'm ready to join society. I don't want to commit crime.
Yeah.
I don't
No more
like,
criming for this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. They're like, we've reprogrammed you to be a street sweeper. He's like, that's cool.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
yeah,
get out there
I
and
wanna
sweep some streets.
He's like, a clean street is a safe street.
And
Yeah.
like the way this guy is like selling, oh man, I'm so happy. I was like, maybe is
Yeah.
this Slash just like acting like he's been rehabilitated or some shit?
The problem is that you see exactly 3 people over the course of the movie in in this weird hologram special effect, they all look like the same dude because they're all vaguely bearded and wearing the dumb leotard, and you're just like, well, which one are you?
And there's a lot of artifacting on this hologram effect.
Yeah. So, but anyway, they are like, all right, council, let's vote on this guy, and they all do their little their little reality show keypads, and it's just like approved.
Yep. Then he gets, I guess, basically zapped back into his body.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, man, I'm going to go work a shit job.
Yep. And they're like, so we thought, like, okay, well, now that guy's a street sweeper, and that's where the crime parts of the movie are going to start. But then it's just like,
no.
Here's my street sweeper.
No. Here's the real trial of Slash.
yeah, but like, so we're then introduced to who I guess is Dakota's partner, although we just kept seeing this lady for a while, and it's just like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, who are you in relation to him?
Yeah, because you called him on the video phone in the car. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's
Like,
just
oh,
like-
you're going to his trial, aren't you? He's like, no.
Yeah.
And then she shows up and he's like, oh, you're at the trial. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we should just atomize him.
Yeah. There's been a scene in the evil lair of the gang who are just waiting for Gallagher to show
'cause
back up.
It's when William Sanderson shows up there, and
Yeah.
and apparently it's flamethrower testing day because the first shot is him like, I'm hacking at the gift, and then like there's dude in the background just going, woo,
Yeah.
flamethrower time.
It is flamethrower testing day every day
Oh,
at
of
that
course
fucking
it is.
facility.
Yes, but like, so this guy, he's the G.I. Joe character who has the flamethrower, and that's his weapon the whole time. So he's just in the background, just spraying. He's just like, "Fuck yeah, this is great! I can't wait to show this to Gallagher when he gets here." So
I just love the idea that it could have actually been Gallagher who was the guy who got zapped.
yeah,
And they were just waiting to bring fruit out so that he could smash it once he got out of hologram.
It's barbecue, by the way.
barbecue
Would be the
Did G.I. Joe?
character.
You're right. Yeah,
Oh, I thought that was the character's name was Barbecue.
No, I mean G.I. Joe. He mentioned G.I. Joe.
I did.
Oh.
Yeah,
And that guy's name was probably like Ernie.
yeah. Ernie the Flame Man.
Ernie. Flame and
My-
Ernie, they call him.
Call me Ernie. My dad called me Ernest.
Right. But like, so William Sanderson's there, and he's immediately got a rival with Eye Patch Guy. Like the whole movie, they are just. Well, William Sanderson is just giving that guy shit, and the whole time the other guy, the Eye Patch guy, is just like, "Hey,
Yeah.
man, fuck
He's
you."
calling him like Cyclops
Yeah.
and all that.
So William Sanderson does his. What it's like, I'm gonna hack. It's gonna overload, and it's crazy, and things are gonna happen. So
This is also where we see Tiny Lister.
Yeah.
Who has an 8 tattooed on his forehead.
Yeah.
This is bald head. Yes.
Yep.
because his name is
But he looks like, almost like he's wearing kind of like, not like football pads, but almost looks more like Legion of Doom pads without the spikes.
he's American Gladiator.
Yeah.
that's who he is, and that's his outfit the whole time. This is what he wears around the city. So
Which I'm realizing Legion of Doom was just football pads.
yes, that's all it was. But with spikes screwed into them.
But,
yeah.
but no, it looks more like that than it looks like football pads.
Right. So yeah, so he just goes and does his evil shit, and then goes back to the regular hologram office.
Which
Yeah.
I love. Tiny little detail here is that he gets back and like they've already done what's his face who's going to be the legit street sweeper
Yeah.
without him.
Right.
And then they show up and they're like, "How dare you be late? Like we got to go." And it's like, you just did this without him. Like
Yeah.
what do you need him for?
Yeah, you really don't need him at
I
all.
guess this was a super important one because this is Slash
Yeah.
Gallagher.
Yeah.
Well, this is the one that the police, the TV also said, literally no hope of getting parole.
Right. Yeah.
To which Slash shows up. They beam Slash's hologram in. And in contrast to the first guy, Slash is like, "What's up, bitches?"
Well,
Yeah.
immediately, like the head councilman, he's like, I guess he was the police chief at the time. He's like, "Oh, Chief so and so, like, man, it's weird how like a loose sphincter like you could become counselor." Or
He
whatever.
does pretty much say that.
I don't
yeah.
remember something sphincter. It
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
and he's just like, and they're all like, "Well, I never."
You
Yeah,
just
like-
just how gross.
And
Can't believe you said that
And
to
there's
me.
like a computer analysis that's like, subject is completely crazy, rehabilitation failed.
Mostly psychotic. Didn't take to any of the rehabilitation at all whatsoever. Highest recommendation: never let him out.
Yeah, but he just comes out talking shit to
Yeah.
everybody.
They did set up a character trait that they never really followed through on. There was a point like when there was the original standoff with John Amos and Dakota and him. He said something like, "You're nuts." And he's like, "Don't call me crazy."
Yeah.
Like they did
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like don't call me
He
crazy.
immediately flipped out. Like,
Yeah.
don't. No one calls me crazy.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
I'm just
What's
misunderstood.
Yeah.
what was it? Which version of Biff was it in the future? Was it?
it was in part
Mad
two.
Dog, yeah, or whatever.
Well, it was part two. It was just.
Oh,
like,
Mad Dog was the Western. Whatever. Griff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't call me.
Yeah,
nuts or
Griff.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, he like kind of pulled that, and it never really came up again because like when the computer was like analysis, he's crazy. I was expecting him to be like, "You shut your fucking face."
I'll rip your computer out, computer.
I'm a hologram. Don't you know?
But it never. He let that go. But yeah, he's just like, yeah, I always tell the truth. Whatever. Fuck you, computer lady.
Yeah.
Fuck you, council. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, we're all voting no. You're voted off the island, and he's just like, yeah, all right, let's see what happens
Yeah,
then.
they're like, send him back.
Yeah,
And then
And this is
apparently,
when Giggles
whatever
executes
the
his
hack
plan.
happened, and yes, extra power is pumped into it, and somehow
Which we go into a 3D wireframe animation of his consciousness passing through the tubes and going to some place we don't recognize.
someone was quite the AutoCAD.
Son of a bitch. But yes, what this does is it amps up his hologram.
it does. Yeah,
That suddenly he's got like red sparks going around him, and he's like, "Huh? Guess I'm not going back to prison. Check this shit out, Dakota."
yeah.
And like, and Dakota sends other people, and he's like, "Go get him."
Well, the
No.
lady cop runs out there. She's like, I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just takes a swing at him, and it just goes, boom, and then he hologram punches her, to which
Hologram
like
backhands her
red
into a
lightning
wall.
shoots out of him, and
He's glitch slapping everyone.
yes, he is.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Yes, that was a good one. God damn it.
Yes. But, like, yeah, so she eventually recovers, and her and Dakota take shots at him, and they go straight through him and blow up the canister behind him.
And he's just laughing at
Yeah,
him.
he's just like, aha, I'm a hologram. See ya.
Yeah. And he basically just walks through the wall and leaves.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they're just like, how the fuck are you gonna stop this guy?
Yeah, and they have, like, an emergency, like, council meeting, and, it's just like, we have determined that this is a big deal. You should probably devote all your resources to this.
Yeah, and the council is pretty shitty because they're like, because Dakota's like, man, that's if we go in guns blazing, there's going to be a lot of civilian casualties. They're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
We do not give a shit. You
Yeah.
need to take him out.
Yeah, just
Whatever it takes, stop him.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, man. And back at the lair, Slash shows up, and he's like, yo,
Hey!
I'm back.
And also, we should point out, like, the one-eyed dude, like, even before he showed up, he's like, when's Slash coming? Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
dude is...
Oh, yeah,
He's super hyped.
This guy totally had a thing for Slash.
Oh, absolutely. Like, he was his right-hand man in more ways than
Yeah.
one. But yeah, he was like, when's Slash showing up? And he hologram Slash shows up. He's like, oh, Slash, oh, you're back. But wow,
So
I
many
don't
things
care.
to tell you, man.
I don't care
just
if you're a
love
hologram.
that, like, all of Slash's delivery is like, check this shit out, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking hologram.
Go ahead, try to touch me. Ha ha. You can't,
Yeah.
because I'm not here.
And then in what is kind of the dumbest thing, because it's like, all right, you're a hologram. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. They're like, all right, we're going to put you in a body now.
Yeah.
And so they create, like, this polymer body rubber thing.
Well, because when he escaped the prison, there was a bunch of shooting and explosions outside, and he had tried to fight somebody, and he couldn't react to the physical objects. And that was, like, his one weakness, is that he can't fight back. He can't, like, pick up a thing and
Okay.
beat someone to death with it. So William
but
Sanderson,
he can still zap people.
he can zap people, but not,
Yeah.
It's not as much fun.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's also way more expensive to film.
Yeah, so they
so.
put him in a mold.
That comes out exactly like him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Facial hair.
Down to
Dreads
the scar
every-
on his face, which he's
Yeah.
pissed about.
Yes, he doesn't much care for that.
But
and
they do this whole thing of, like, you could be anybody. Like, we didn't have to make you look like you. You could literally be anyone. Which, in the movie, equates to, whenever you want to be someone else, we're going to give you the Mission Impossible, mask thing you can rip off the rubber mask thing you're already
Yeah,
wearing.
it's more the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I like the implication of this mask though, because it says, "All right, we made you your body that you put around you,
Yeah.
and then we made a mask to put on top of the mask that is your body."
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's
Not that we're
double
just
masking.
making, now you're going to be a body of this prostitute, or,
Yeah.
now you're going to be this banker. It's just like, okay, so we made you, and then if you want to be someone else, we'll just make a mask of them, and you'll put it over your existing rubber mask that is just housing a fucking hologram.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's
Fucking dumb.
But the thing is, like, they don't explore any of this
No.
well at all.
but
No.
they spend a lot of
'Cause
time
you know
talking about it. They're like, you could be anyone.
Yeah.
Like, just
All right.
say the word.
I'm sorry, but this is totally a guy who would be like, "Yo, make me a chick with huge hooters so I
Yeah.
can play with them, man.
Yeah.
Just like just
Fucking massive hooters.
yes, just give me like 45 minutes.
Yep.
And then I'll go back to doing
Yeah.
the whole Slash
I need
thing.
my Hooter
No.
suit
Yeah. Just give me a hooter suit.
and some privacy.
He will not go back to just being Slash. He will be Slash with hooters.
I'm going to write my own Slash
forever.
fic.
But I'm sorry, but Slash 100%. He's that guy.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh yes.
But instead, he's just he's himself without the scars,
Yeah.
and he's just acting like he's like fucking Morpheus in the Matrix or something. Because he's like, "Welcome to my lair, everyone."
Oh, he's got like, if you, it's almost like a Klingon's captain ship, like throne thing. He's
Yeah.
got. I mean, it's just unnecessary edges of metal in all kinds of directions. Just like, and he just will swing it around like, I'm contemplating.
Yeah, and he sends his goons out to kidnap one of the council members, and because they're all on high alert now.
Yeah.
And this one, and it's like they come after him with a helicopter, and like the police guy or whoever it is that's in the car with him is just like, "No, man, that's one of ours."
That's one of ours.
And the guy's like, "Are you sure?"
No, it's standard procedure of ours to like bring a helicopter flying almost to ground level right behind the limo and then
Yeah.
take off and fly alongside of it. That's that we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Stunt flying.
Yep. And just as he finishes saying all this, that helicopter blows up one of the
The cop
one
car
of the
behind
one of
him
the cop
and
cars.
then the cop car in front of him, and which makes him stop. And
Yeah. To which, of course, the guy who's in the car next to him goes, "Ultra stop this," gets out of the car, shoots like at one guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Nah, fuck you," and they shoot him to death.
no, that the guy that was like, so the driver got out and immediately got shot, but that guy managed to. He had a pretty explosive round thing and took out the helicopter.
Okay, yeah, there was a guy. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the driver actually is the one
maybe
who
that-
had the
okay.
grenade launcher and took out the helicopter.
But-
We're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, but still,
But
like,
they show up with their
they still
giant
shoot
semi
him.
thing.
They still shoot him, and the one-eyed guy is like, "You're coming with us."
Yeah. And this is when Slash is like, "We're starting a revolution.
Yeah.
We're doing cool shit."
Yeah,
bro."
his thing is weird because it is just we're gonna give the city back to the people and it's a revolution and I'm
okay.
All right, he's Killmongery.
Yeah, I was about to say he's basically pulling a Killmonger, where it's like,
You're not wrong.
yeah,
like because the council is shitty and all this.
yeah, the council
shitty.
is shitty, and they're just basically a corporation that owns everything, and all they care about is keeping their money
yeah.
and fuck everyone else.
You know, the problem is that this guy's murdering everybody to do whatever it is he's trying to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But like he monologues at this city council dude for a while in his lair. He's just like, to help
Yeah,
me with
he's
the,
like,
come up with a
I don't want to
plan."
hurt you. I'm offering
Yeah.
you a partnership.
Yeah. Just I need one of you on my side
And then the guy's like, "Well, I got to think about it." And he's like, "Take this piece of shit away from me."
yeah, take him to the thinking room. And then like someone's like, "Boss, I got bad news. We're broke." And he's like, "Rah!"
Easily solved.
Yeah. I have
And
an
then just
easy solution.
cut to the next business day. People are showing up at work, just like, "Hey, Jim, how was your weekend?
Oh, good
yeah,
morning,
pretty
morning,
good."
morning.
And then just fucking Mad Max car just
Yeah.
explodes through the front of this building.
Apparently, they own another wedge car because they drive it through this
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
And-
then he just kind of gets out like in his Z Cavaricis and his tucked in T-shirt and is just like, I'm here to make a withdrawal.
Yeah.
And the manager's like, "Oh,
I can't do
I
that."
can't do that." And he's like, "Maybe this will help." And they fucking gun him to death.
Oh,
And-
excessively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And he dies clutching
like
the
total,
ficus.
like total recall style.
Yeah.
Just fucking mutilate
This guy's
guy.
like, "Oh, ficus, office ficus, you're my only friend."
Yeah. And he's done.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other guy, in one of the few bits of truly good comedic timing, pulls out his key card, goes,
I can open it.
"I can open it."
Yeah, it's good.
And then cut to them bring everyone out, and of course you've got Dakota and everybody's like, "We heard they hit the bank. We got to go stop them." And so they're all outside, and the police chief, the new police chief, who's just a shitty council member, is basically like, "Man, we're gonna shoot to kill. We got to do this. It doesn't matter." And Dakota's like, "No, man, you like civilian casualties. Let me talk to him first." And he's like, "No, you're not talking to him." And then he's like, "Fuck it." And he runs out there to talk to Slash. And of course, and whenever Slash talks to Dakota, there's always like this smarmy attitude that he gets. He's like, "Well, Dakota, every time we meet up, it seems like I got the better of you."
Yeah. And Dakota says something like, let the hostages go.
He's
And he's like, "You say that every time. That's your opening line every time. It's boring."
"Yeah,
But yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a little bit,
Yeah.
but it just devolves into, well, guess what? I'm gonna blow up this guard shack next to me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, his parting shots usually is like that they've planted these little hockey puck bombs that are on timers. And I think this one might not be on a timer. I think he had a detonator or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's just like, how about this? Boom! And
Yeah.
like so all of his henchmen escape, and he's just sitting there, and there's like a terrible dummy of him burning in this, and they're all like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just walks away, you know. And
Well,
they're
he
like,
just kind of
holograms
emerges
away.
out of the fire,
Yeah.
just like, I'm still a hologram, bitches.
Yeah, he's like, toodles, bro.
Yeah. And they're
But-
just like, fuck yeah, he is a hologram. What are
Yeah,
we gonna do?
I will say the police chief shoots first.
Yeah.
Like, they try to make the hostage thing happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, the police chief just starts shooting.
I need to point out that between like the dude we didn't know getting paroled and
yeah, there
Gallagher,
was a whole action scene.
there was a whole scene where it was just like, this is how we now know that Dakota is a fucking insane cop.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like trying to take back this warehouse or something where there's just a million henchmen of some like the Iron Claw something
Sure. Yeah.
gang or whatever. And it's this 10-minute action scene of just dudes shooting and shit exploding and
I like that throughout this scene, like whenever Dakota comes up to a position, it is like immediately after a cop has just gotten himself gunned down.
yes, cop gets gunned
Like,
down.
this
Dakota
happens, like-
slides right into his spot like, haha, I'm here now.
This happens like 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this whole thing culminates is like, you know, everyone's like, what do we do? Where's the backup? You know, they're basically all doing the thing he did from the opening thing. He's like, give me that gun, follow me, grab that shield, give me cover,
Yeah.
come on, play him. And it's just murdering everybody.
Yeah, and it
But
ends with a guy with a
Yeah.
woman as hostage.
Yeah.
And
he just
he shoots her in the knee, I
yeah,
think.
shoots her in the leg and then like shoots him in the head or whatever. And or another dude just puts his hands up.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell are you doing? You shot a hostage. She's like, she's not a hostage. Check her shoulder. And she's got the same tattoo. And he's like, I'm out of here.
So anyway, we just wanted.
Yeah,
to,
I don't have time for paperwork.
Yeah, but it's another one where like guy shoots a certain direction, the reacting shot of someone getting shot does not really line up with where that guy
yes.
looked to be aiming at all.
Yeah. Yeah, people are getting hit, and you're just like, where do those bullets come from, dude?
Yeah.
My favorite part about this is there's a Ford Taurus that rolls up and 4 cops get
Oh.
out of it, and immediately someone's like explosive round that, and they all have to like 2 get blown back into the water. And, you know.
Well, someone says, where's the backup? And then immediately this car shows up with dudes like piling out of it, and you're just like, oh, the backup's here. And this car just, I don't know what it's
Sorry
made of,
guys,
but
we were at soccer practice.
it's just made of C4, and
Yeah.
it just instantly
It's a
just
fucking nitroglycerin Taurus.
yeah, like the car just it disintegrates, and dudes are just flying. It's just your backup
Yeah.
is terrible. So whatever you're making cars out of in the future, stop it.
yeah.
It's all those goddamn lithium batteries. They're
Yeah.
just fucking blowing up everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so
So anyway, so
yes.
yeah, so they've robbed the bank.
Yeah,
they have
they-
the money.
yeah,
And,
they're
this
having
is,
a
and this is when the lead guy on the city council. I guess he's the mayor. I don't know what he's supposed to be.
he's
CEO,
the head of
whatever.
Cali Corp or whatever the fuck this thing is
Yeah,
called.
he's just like, you guys understand? He stole $100 million from me.
Yeah, from me.
$100 million from me.
Yeah. Because he's asking, like, what do you make in a
Yeah.
year? And he's like, I fail to see the purpose of this line of questioning, sir.
And he's like, it's the year 2000. He stole $100 million from me.
Yeah.
It was bugging me the whole movie where I know this guy from. The only thing I can think of is he's the lead dude from Flashdance.
Yeah.
That's about it. Like this dude looks so more familiar than that. Yeah, whatever. But
He's the other dude in the hidden. I mean,
Yeah.
he
works a lot.
He,
Yeah, I'm
he
just
was the
saying.
voice of Boulder in the Rock Lords movie.
BMFcast
Damn
alum.
gas alum.
Right.
But yes,
Yeah.
Just like as soon as he showed up on screen, I was like, "Fuck, why do I know him?" But
Yeah.
no reason for me to like seriously know him. Anyway,
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah.
so he's pissed. He's like, we got to step everything up. Got to take this asshole out.
so there's like this dude's like the head of the corporation. There's like the head councilman from the the judges or whatever the hell they are.
Right.
There's the
There's the
Whatever-
chief financial officer.
Yeah, this CFO dude who's just like little nerdy guy. I got a calculator, and then there's whatever like councilman guy they stole.
Yeah.
And that guy's
Head of
giving,
social programs.
That guy's like finally they're like look, if you don't work with us, we're gonna kill you, right? You know that. And he's like, well, I guess I have no choice. And he's like, cool, I know I want a schedule of where everyone's gonna be. So, oh, geez, but you're gonna let me have my social programs. Like as soon as we enact that revolution, you're gonna listen to my plans for how we're gonna make the place better.
Like,
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah,
totally.
partners. We'll be partners on this.
Yeah.
So he gets the schedule, and that's pretty much let's figure out where everyone is. So the first one is like smarmy council dude or whatever is
It's the head of the council and the finance dude, and they're sitting there crunching the numbers or
Right.
whatever in his office, and they're like, Dakota's here, sir, to see you.
he's like, oh, this better be important. And he just walks over and he's just like, come on, we got to talk for a second. And then just picks the dude up and throws him over because like they're in like a big open balcony area.
Half this movie is filmed in a convention center, and they're just taking different angles, and so that's where this office is. It's the upper floor of a convention center.
Yeah, and he just chucks him over there. And the best part about this is this starts the trend of like this dude falls from a great height,
Huge height.
and crashes through like a coffee table.
Yes.
Like a glass coffee table, just
Yeah.
like little
And at first
pieces
you're
de
like,
resistance.
well, that's weird. Like, why did they aim right for that? Like an added, like it wouldn't have been as cool if he just splatted on the floor. They're like, throw him through a table. That's all right. Yeah,
It's because they show him falling from 4.5 feet up.
yeah, that's true.
So they have to give you some sense of something
Fair.
dangerous.
But he murders him, and that's our first like Scooby Doo. Like, I'm actually
Yeah.
Slash.
See, huh?
Because then he takes the CFO dude or whatever.
Does. Yeah, he puts him in a wheelchair, and they roll him outside, and of course all the cops are there.
Yeah, and his whole gang's there now too.
Yeah.
and he's just like immediately he's like, let the CFO guy go, and he's like, sure, yeah, whatever. Why didn't you just say it? They roll this dude at him, and they got him like gagged or whatever. And
Wait, wait, is this like they roll him out, and is this when the little computer ball comes down, and like they see the advertisement on the building, like, hey, you freeze, don't move, and the little Star Wars Jedi Arena ball comes down and is like,
we might be mixing up our scenes because they also murder the counselor. One of the other counselor dudes like brought two prostitutes home and gets a call.
that's later.
That's later. Yeah,
That's later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
This
I think
this is when the
I think
little
when they
murder
first
ball or
walk out, the
whatever
murder
comes
ball
down.
comes down, is like freeze, and he's just like, all right, so he slaps one of the
Right.
stick up bombs on it, and then hits it like a baseball, and it goes and hits a
Uses
building.
a shotgun. Like,
Yeah. He's like, I think I missed my calling, and swings it like a baseball bat. This thing goes flying into a building and explodes like a
blows
whole
like
floor
4
of a
floors
building.
out of the building.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that's when
That's
all
when
the
the cops
cops
show.
roll up, and then they're just like, "You want this guy? Here, take him!" And they just push this guy in the wheelchair over to him. And so,
his partner lady, like, of course, we knew something was bad
Yeah.
about to happen to her because she's like, let's make this quick. I'm gonna have like the date of the century after this or something like that.
Right.
And so she's like, they roll the CFO guy over, and she runs over and is like, sir, are you okay? And he's like,
he's like, "Sir, I can't understand. Do you have a thing in your mouth?" Yeah. And so
I do like that she doesn't undo the gag.
No.
She opens
Yeah.
his jacket.
Yeah, she's like, "Sir, what do you?" Yeah.
and all those little pucks are at 0.
Right. Yeah. And so it's just so you get like I'm surprised there wasn't like classical music timed to this because you get like this slow motion shot of her
being
being
air-ramped.
ejected backwards, and then it's just Dakota's like, "No, the lady I kind of know."
And if I didn't know her,
yeah.
she'd be the lady. I didn't know.
I didn't know. Yeah. So
Yeah, she dies.
Yeah, she does.
She does. There's more shooting and
And
explosions.
yeah, of course, everybody gets away because he's a hologram, and the bad guys are bulletproof because they can stand without cover and just go ha.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
cops are-
this is very much one of those movies where like everyone will shoot at Slash since he's the indestructible one, but all the guys like Tiny Lister and
Yeah, they just
everyone
stand out in
else,
the
they're
open.
like, just let them get away.
Yeah.
even when they are shooting at them, they can be in perfectly open space, and the cops will be in cover and still miss them, and they will all get shot. It's one of those.
Yeah.
But yes, they all get away, and then
But then, like, so Dakota's gotten the idea that he's going to go back to the prison to get his body.
Yeah, he's like, I know Slash. He's going to come back for his body.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think Slash has ever even said that's what he was going to do. But so why this guy has the sense that that's what he's going to do? I don't know. It's in the script, I guess.
he knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
So
he knows him.
They just go and they pulls the.
I think the hologram councilman kill thing happens before this, because this is when the end of the movie starts getting set up, when they go to the prison.
Oh, when
Yeah,
the
because like like I said, the one head judge, councilman, whatever the hell they were, the people that issue the paroles or whatever. He's coming home with 2 prostitutes.
Right.
And
So
then-
yeah, there's William Sanderson has explained to the other councilman guy that Gallagher's in the machine and he can be sent anywhere.
Right.
And so yeah, that dude comes home with 2 hookers and just like slaps him on the ass and is like, "Go to bed. I'll see y'all in a little while."
and they're like, "We're gonna call him."
Yeah.
They're like, as long as he picks up the phone, we got him.
Yeah. So he just goes to his desk and answers the call, and it's just hologram hand.
Well, first
comes-
it's what's his face, the councilman that they stole, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hi, sir, I need to talk to you." And you're
with
like,
the
he's like, "Yeah,
things and the-
what?"
yeah.
He's like, and then you hear other stuff going on in the background. And they're talking, and they're like, "What's going on here?" And then it's cut to the shot of from the behind the CRT monitor,
Yeah.
which, by the way, they all still have CRT monitors.
Sure.
And this the hand just comes out and chokes / electrocutes him through the computer screen and it disappears back. So
Yes.
it's basically just Instagram.
Yes. It's yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that did happen before because
Yeah,
then
yeah, because then they
yeah.
go. Then he's like, all right, he's killed almost all the counselors except for the head dude who's still just like, you keep failing me. And he's like, he's a fucking hologram. We shoot him, it goes right through. What the fuck do you want me to do?
Yeah.
But he's just like, you fail me one more time.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, I have an idea. He's probably going to come claim his body. Let's fucking go there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they go to the prison where they've got his body on ice, and he goes with his girlfriend, and they open it up, and he's just like, fuck this. Blam, blam, blam. And just shoots his body like 5 times.
Yeah.
And he's like, closes it, he's like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
And then,
I like that it's the one time he really truly gets to be vindictive
Yeah.
about this.
He's just,
like,
man, fuck this guy.
Because that's probably what I'd do.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, that guy's coming back for his body. Yeah, hope he likes his face full of bullets.
Yeah. It's a real dick
yeah.
move.
But, of course, you know, everybody, I guess, was still on call or whatever this place, because
They're all working.
her dad's there, and, like, all of a sudden the alarms start going off because, yeah, they're coming for his body.
Right.
And so, you know, dad's like, oh, I got to lock the system down or I'd escape and everything. Like, get the fuck out. Everything's going to blow up. And it's like, no, I'm staying at my station and I got to lock the place down. And
Yeah.
of course, he gets murdered.
Yep. Like, so 2,000 dudes get murdered in the bowels of this building for various reasons. And, like, the police force is now wearing berets and just weird, fancy French fuck outfits.
Apparently, this is footage from a different movie.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Edited into this movie.
Okay.
That makes sense because there is someone running around with a laser cannon murdering some of the bad guys.
Like blasting them off of. Like I thought it was going to be Dakota with Amos's gun, which
Right.
they show him loading at one point.
yeah. Because he goes home and opens up
Yeah.
the John Amos memorial case,
Yeah.
which has his gun, 2 clips, and his badge.
And the timing is like he flips up his badge, and like right at that point, you hear this voiceover from John Amos from the grave, and I was like, "Is that like one of those Hallmark cards?" And just pre-recorded, like "Be your Lois Cannon." And like, oh, well, thanks for the inspirational words, John Amos.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so I mean the what you're supposed to glean from this, I guess, is that he's the one that's been shooting the guys. But the footage of him, of Dakota, is all in the one room with the girlfriend and the dad.
You never see him leave that room.
Yeah.
So it's like, when did he go murder those fools? But yeah, so like some bad guys get wrecked, but it's not clear by whom or how. So, but yeah, eventually it's just they're all in this room, and
I think this is when Tiny Lister meets his end, because like there's actually
no, he makes it to the end.
Does he make it all the way to the end?
He's to the end fight. Yeah.
Okay.
Because at some point, like Dakota's decided, well, we can't kill him, but we can kill his henchman. But that never comes up in any way, shape, or form.
Which is the first time someone's talked some sense.
yeah,
On
But-
their side, at least.
yeah. But anyway, so
Yeah.
Gallagher's shown up, and
Yeah,
he's just,
Dr. Dad gets killed. He's rigged the place. It's about to blow up. They've shot Dakota at some point because they all come in this room, and then he's like,
Well, yeah,
Dakota, you son of a bitch, you shot my body. Ah! And
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, well, he's not even pissed about it. He's like, that wasn't cool what you did to my
that
body,
was,
bro.
That was not cool. I needed that for things.
Yeah.
And then I think he hologram punches him a couple times and then shoots him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
And then
A
like
lot.
you know they've got explosives everywhere.
Like,
Like 4-minute countdown timer.
Like when he shoots him, he staggers
Oh,
around so much that I was like, "There's some fake out going on here." Like,
Right.
you know, he's already a hologram, or I don't know what. But
yeah, he does shoot him a long time, uncomfortably so, where he's just staggering around uncomfortably.
yeah, in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the
Yeah.
chestial area.
Literally, like, if this movie wasn't what it was, it should get high marks for the fact that the bad guy's just like, man, fuck this, and just murders the good guy
Yeah.
2/3 of the way through the film, because no bad guy ever does that.
Yeah.
So this guy's just like, you know what, man, fuck you, and just, you blew up my body, that wasn't cool. So,
and punches the girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know,
and then he's just like,
fine. Let's set the
smell you later.
Yeah. Set all the explosives for 4 minutes. Let's get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. And of course she wakes up.
She
like,
wakes
"Oh."
up immediately
Yeah.
and runs over to him and just tries to, like, squish all of his wounds, to which he goes,
There is a real good honest shot where it's just like she's like, "Are you okay?" And he just like kind of rolls over. He's like, "Oh."
this really hurts.
It's like the Dracula 3000 realization, like, "Ow!" Getting shot sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do
I
I
think
do
it's
this to so many
Shot
people?
5 times sucks 5 times as much as getting shot once.
Not a fan.
Mackie, was it you that said that she was trying to pick him up like a bowling ball?
It was Chuck that- I think Chuck
It
said
looked
that.
like she was trying to stick her fingers
yes.
in his wounds and roll him over like that,
She
like
was just like, let me get a grip on you, bro.
Fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling.
like a six pack. Just
Yes, just grab him and take him.
yeah,
But
Yeah, she loads him in the hologram machine, of course.
and he's like, "No, don't do it. Get out."
me die.
Silly,
Let me
go
die.
up.
been shot a bunch. And
"Ow."
she's like, you shut your
I
face.
honestly don't want to remember this. This really hurt.
Yeah. So she zaps him into a canister, and then all the things where the bombs have been put.
Well, she also did the whatever, she
did
turned
the
him-
super hacking.
She turned him into a hologram and then did this somehow reverse engineered the super hack so
Yeah.
that the wireframe shit showed up again. And then we cut to outside of the building, just kabloom, and he's standing there in hologram, like, no, I'm a hologram and this isn't hurting me, but fuck. And then go back inside where there's flames everywhere, and she apparently found a cubby hole where she was safe from explosion.
Totally fine. I do like the fact that
Did she crawl in one of the coffins or
No,
whatever?
these
the
are very
No,
localized
She
explosions.
just laid under the
Yeah.
under the desk.
Yeah.
And there's also a shot of like his specific body slab.
Yes.
Blowing up.
Yes, he put a bomb on that, which I think is like terrifically petty. He's just like, well, this is no fucking good to me. Might as well put one of these bombs on this thing. So he blew that up specifically. I mean, it just seemed like the whole building was going to go up, but no, it's just these little targeted places where he
Yeah.
put these things.
Well, he
So-
had a bunch of little bombs. He didn't have one big bomb.
That's true. But
They were the size of like a Reese's cup, like they used
Yeah.
to be.
they're like the little stick-up air fresheners. That's all they are, with,
Yes.
a little,
Yeah.
with a little
Yes.
timer stuck into the middle of it.
That-
And, yeah. Hey,
I was trying to figure that prop
I
out.
know how to make a B action movie. So, like, he's just now he's a hologram in a dumb leotard, and he's like, it's kind of hot in here as he's standing in the flames, and she's like, yeah, let's get you home.
Yeah.
So-
and at home, he's trying to type on the computer, and he's zapping it and fucking it up. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna. I gave you a charge,
Yeah.
so you're gonna react poorly with all of our electronics."
I'm
in the
gonna
house."
re-say my one joke because like we don't have any context. He's fucking around with the computer, and she walks in. She's got a car battery and some jumper cables, and I was just being like, "Hey, you want to jump my bones?" Because he actually literally goes over and they fool around with him being a hologram. Like he's trying to touch her and
Yeah,
stuff.
She like explains some like you can manipulate some things, and I'm gonna put this.
Yeah,
she
well,
basically recreates the William
Yeah,
Sanderson.
yes, I'm sorry. She
plastic.
makes the rubber bodysuit
Well,
first.
she doesn't really. She just says it's like like
It's
reverse
stage makeup.
ionized stage makeup,
Yeah.
and sprays him to be
Which-
human again.
But that it just includes like his dumb facial hair, and it's
Yeah.
like what.
it's dumb.
But it's I know it's real dumb. But anyway, so he's just sitting there, and she's like, we should totally fuck, and then like they kind of do, even though she's getting shocked, but she's kind of like, this is interesting, and then they just
he
cuts.
sings the body electric with her.
Yeah, but then it like then it cuts to all the appliances in the house going nuts, including like a mixer at one point, which just is these two giant phallic things just going.
And then the blender with whatever juice in it.
Yeah, it
shooting
just
up,
explodes out. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
Yet
man.
another Orange
we all-
Julius nightmare. Baby.
Because we all keep random juice in the blender.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
just,
You
it's
never
on
know-
standby.
You never know when you'll need to blend.
You just add a little more every day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Yeah, you reuse the unused juice from the day
Right,
before.
right.
Yeah.
it's more sanitary toilet wine.
Yeah.
It ferments
Right.
over
Oh,
time.
yeah,
You
it's
just
so
keep
good.
it mixed.
It's
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
It's artisanal.
I make my Pruno in the blender. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's a hologram now, and they
Yeah.
fucked.
And and then he goes to City Hall.
Yeah, they just go back to the convention center.
and meets with the like last remaining council member who's like, "Man, you're the biggest fuck up I know. Like I should have you executed."
He's
for,
like, "Yeah,
for,
Marsh-
for sheer incompetence.
Yeah,
for not
he's
being
like-
able to stop this guy.
It's-
well,
martial
you're-
law
He's
now.
like, well, yeah, well, fuck you. And he's like, what? He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, go fuck yourself. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, you're
Yeah.
going to listen to me now. And he's like, how fucking do you just firing squad? You're going in front of a firing
Yeah.
squad. Oh,
He's
really?
like,
Am I?
I don't think so, bro. And he just does the thing from Cocoon where he just kind of pulls back his eye a little bit and just light shoots out of it. And Michael Nuri's just like, fuck. You're a hologram now. I don't have any jurisdiction.
He's like, we're going to do it my way.
Yeah.
Which apparently his way was, I'm going to Scooby-Doo mask your face and wait for them to come get you.
Right. Yeah. I'm just going to hang out. They're going to come take you.
Because, yeah, they
You're
come,
going to get taken.
Yeah, you're about to be
they
taken.
come to get the last guy, and then, yeah, he Scooby-Doo masks off the councilman's
they,
face.
they wheel him into the lair. Now they have had like a bullet party at the lair, like when they blew up the jail and everything, and they come back. Like all the henchmen.
I really like this touch because all the henchmen are going nuts, and the Cyclops guy's like, "Boss, you did it!
Yeah.
you took out that dude. Why do you seem like you lost your best friend?" And he's like, "I lost my best enemy."
Yeah.
Best adversary.
Adversary,
Even
yeah.
better.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, boss."
Oh, gee, boss. When you're sad, I'm sad. And you're sad, so I'm sad.
Yeah.
But I'm sure like Slash was like, "That was not nearly as satisfying as I thought it was going to be."
Yeah. But in the background, blowtorch guy is just going nuts with the blowtorch, and everyone with the gun is just shooting it into the air, just like, fuck yeah, woo! Our boss did a thing, and man, everyone fucking loves Gallagher.
Oh, man.
Like, they're all just, everyone's checking on him
He's
like,
a
dude.
funny guy. He smashes fruits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why wouldn't everyone love Gallagher?
I know, right?
He tells dad jokes.
All these
and then
henchmen
smashes fruits with a
love their
sledgehammer.
jobs. They're smiley as fuck.
Yeah, they're
all the time.
They're so happy. So anyway, here we go. Final battle time. So they've wheeled in this dude, and
Yeah,
Isn't it like they don't?
well-
he doesn't Scooby Doo until he's alone with the Cyclops.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Right.
he's alone with Cyclops and Giggles.
yeah,
and they're like, all right, we're gonna off you now.
Yeah.
and he breaks free of the constraints because he's hologram man.
right. And he grabs like an electrical cable and
Like yanks it out of whatever it was plugged into.
yeah, and kills William Sanderson with
Yeah.
it. And then Cyclops guy's like, "Well, that's not. You're not. Why'd you do that?" And he goes, "Hold on a second," and then just goes yoink and
he
rips
pulls up
it.
and he's like, "You're not that guy."
Which leads to the best fucking line in not just this movie, but in a long time
Yeah.
of movies. I'm not gonna say it. Someone else
Yeah.
can say it.
But yeah, he rips the mask off, and the guy's like, "Hey, you're not the councilman." And he goes, "Good eye."
grabs him by the collar and
Yeah.
says it too.
Yeah, legit got applause from us. We're just like, yes,
All
yes.
right.
Not only is that a great one-liner, it's so appropriate. So
And then he just backs the guy up because he's right by the mold machine and pushes this dude in.
And the guy's like, "Oh no, no!"
yeah,
And then locks him in. Apparently, like
Turns
doesn't-
it on.
Doesn't have a program because he
No.
just pulls the dude out and it's basically just molded over his face. So he's like,
Yeah, he tells him to hold his breath.
yeah,
right before he does it.
yeah. And then Gallagher comes in, sees that guy's a fucking hideous mess, sees that William Sanderson's dead too, and he's just like, "The fuck? What'd you do?"
He's like,
I see you're alive, but what the fuck, man?
He's like, "You got a lot of lives
Yeah.
there, Dakota."
And so he's just like, "Yeah, well, check this shit out," and kind of like unzips out and is hologram man. And
no,
then,
no, he punches him across the room first, like
Yeah, he gets punched
Yeah.
across the room.
okay,
Yeah.
yes,
really far across the room.
because he lands on a table.
He sure does.
He does.
He sure does. Like, I mean, he just is like, "How dare you kill my two favorite henchmen" or something,
Yeah.
and punches him way across the
Yeah.
across a a factory.
Like
To
they
which-
yoinked this guy.
To
I
which he
mean,
lands on a table.
Yes,
yeah.
a little tiny
and
table.
that's the third table. Somewhere in the chaos,
Yeah.
another dude got thrown across the room and landed on a table. So we were like, "Oh man, this movie has a theme. This is fantastic."
Yeah. But he gets up and is like, and then like gets like comes over and then punches Slash,
Yeah.
who flies across the room. And we're like, table. No, he flies into like the hologram
Right.
sucking machine,
Yeah.
whatever the hell it is.
And
The-
he is
Looks
pissed.
Yeah,
mean,
looks like a
it's-
stack of fluorescent tubes.
Right.
yeah,
but
or
a
it's
hologram
like the
machine.
tubes from the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just pillars of garbage.
But he kind of-
which is a terrible '90s band.
But he just kind of gets up again. Is like, and so
Yeah.
yeah, that's when they like are like, fuck it, let's rip
Yeah.
off our skin suits and
and
fucking
hologram fight each other. And the girlfriend has told him right before the final battle, like, "Oh, by the way, he's twice as strong as you.
Yeah, we didn't.
Sorry.
we didn't fully ionize you.
Yeah, we didn't pump you full
So
of
he
enough.
could destroy you.
Yeah, so he's probably gonna murder you anyway. Good luck."
Yeah, but
They,
also
they throw
also
a couple Hadoukens at each other.
yeah, I was gonna say he somehow apparently gets the power to throw lightning fireballs.
He concentrates the ion particles and
Yeah.
just
Holodukin.
Yes.
yes,
Well, that's how he takes out Flamethrower.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. He Holodukins the flamethrower dude's backpack, and
it was
that guy-
just spinning around
Oh,
on
he was-
fire.
Well, yeah, he was like flame. That's actually how he lost his skin suit because the flamethrower
Yeah,
dude
that's
did
right.
hit him,
Yes.
and he melted his skin suit,
Yeah,
and he came out
and
on
just
like on
emerged.
full hologram.
Yeah.
But yes, he was like Holodukin, and that guy. He was smiling up to the point. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I see you are a hologram too, huh? Well, all right. Let's hologram it out. And it's just they're just trading punches, and it's just like you wanted one of them to say, like, "This is dumb. These punches aren't going to do shit." But whatever, they're just punching each other, throwing each other around.
And eventually he punches him into the remains of the hollow sucky machine, whatever
Yeah.
thing that you got thrown into earlier.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like slumped at the base of the
And
thing.
he's literally just laying there, and he's like, "One thing you don't realize is I'm smarter than you."
Yeah.
And then he's boop boop beep boop.
well,
and-
no, he just kind of puts his hand in the computer and it's just like, and then it turns everything on and transports him into the little tube.
But like as the full formed hologram, not like just the pixie
Yeah.
dust that he was before. Like,
Yeah, now it's bad channels.
Yeah, he's basically like gone bad channel size. You know, help, let me out.
Yeah,
And
and then he just says, "Have a nice trip," and then just blows that thing up.
yep.
So
And then walks outside, and like, you know, the cops are arriving in because it's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And they know, and the councilman pulls up in his limo. Of
it's
course,
like your ruse worked. That's pretty cool.
and he's like, you know what? I decided I'm just gonna keep martial law. You know, because like it's a lot easier, and I can pretty much do whatever the hell I want. And he's like, but you know what? You're gonna be my right hand hologram man.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna rule this city.
and he's like
with a hologram
he's like,
fist.
No, I'm not down with that. You're pretty much just like him, the other side of the coin,
Yeah.
you know, thing. So you know what? I'm gonna hologram into your gas tank and
Yeah.
shock that.
And that limo goes fucking up.
All the cops are just kind of like, after you kind of like, you know, cool holograms don't look at explosions away from it. All the cops are just kind of looking at him like, what the fuck? And he's like, and the girlfriend comes out kind of out of nowhere. He's like, what are we gonna do next? He's like, vote. He's like, well, I mean, hologram fuck first,
Yeah.
but then vote.
Then vote.
Yeah.
And then he just walks off frame, and then the movie ends. It's just like, well, that's a weird PSA.
Hey, vote or die.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hologram man here. You might remember me for blowing that dude up in the limo, but I'm here to talk to you about voting. It's a serious issue.
Remember when I rocked that guy? How about you go rock the vote?
That guy chose die, and the voter die. Don't be like him.
I really liked that limo explosion.
It was
by the
real
way.
good,
It was
yeah.
really the
Like the-
top peeled off.
Yeah.
Like a sardine can. Just round.
It's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They use so much gasoline. So much gasoline in this movie.
They really did.
Cars exploded a lot.
So fun.
But yeah, I think we're at the point we should rate this.
Yeah, we should. We really should. No Stargrove. No anything
No.
like that.
Soundtrack.
Kicking soundtrack, but
Unremarkable, though.
It's just nonstop synthesizer music,
Yeah.
and not like the cool synth you might be thinking of. It's just the actiony
90s generic synth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is incessant.
Yep.
So
Anyway.
I'll go.
okay,
I haven't started in a while. I'm probably not going to be followed along with this one. I don't care. It's a Five Jocks movie for me. I don't give a shit.
Wow.
I know it's poorly made at times, but goddamn, so much shit explodes, and as generic looking as either of these guys is, and with their bad hair and bad beards and everything, the fact that they are committed to whatever tomfoolery is going on in this movie, I'm fucking in. Like, I mean, this. I like I said, I know I'm probably going to be the lone wolf on this one, but like, this is the kind of shit that like I'm so glad this is what we do. Like finding movies like this, I fucking love this dumb little movie. So
It's real
I'm just
dumb.
getting it out of the way. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not tempting you to like now bring down the score. I'm just saying that's my thing.
Well, I can start by saying, walking out of the theater, I was at 2 jocks because I didn't like a lot of the action. Both guys are just kind of like rubbed me wrong in a weird way.
Okay.
But in talking about it for this past 45 minutes,
yeah,
I kind of bump it up to 4 jocks because it has been enjoyable as hell to talk about this movie. And any movie with this many explosions kind of can't go below 3 jocks, I think.
yeah.
Because, like, there is an excess. This has to be the most explosions per movie we've had. I can't think of another movie where more shit blows up than this one.
Yeah, to the point where we forgot long sequences of explosions
yeah,
to
yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
And honestly, one last thing, just like, you know, I'm a sucker for sci-fi anyway, but I also love shitty sci-fi, like
Oh, yeah.
low, like budget sci-fi. That's just like, we did the best we could to make this look like future shit. You know?
Oh, we didn't even talk about when he went to the holodeck for the training program.
Oh goddamn, yes, with the
Oh my
laser
God,
laser
the-
tag
the
gun. and
shitty
everything.
VR where
Oh.
like
Oh Jesus!
he kills like one cyber henchman who's just out in a hallway just minding his own fucking business and turns to look at cyber him and just makes this face like this cyber confusion on his face like, why me, bro?
And then gets murked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's just so much dumb shit in this.
Yep.
So 4 jocks?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going with 4 jocks.
All right then. BJ?
This one's a weird one for me because it has all the ingredients of something that we should really like, but for one, it had a hard time keeping my attention. For two, it just... I think I enjoyed you guys talking about it, because I barely remembered anything immediately after leaving. I think I enjoyed you guys talking about it more than me actually watching it. There's something about it, but I feel like I almost need to maybe rewatch this on a different day. I don't think I necessarily have a bad attitude today. Maybe I need to just revisit it at some point, because I mean, and I know this is a good rating that I'm going to give it because of what all it encompasses, but I think maybe in a different setting somehow I would give it a better rating. But for now, I'm going to give it 3 jocks. There's a lot of really good explosion-y shit, and I can't even remember his name now.
Dakota?
Hologram Man.
Slash.
Slash, thank you.
Slash Gallagher.
Yeah. Slash. Like,
He has a number of nicknames too, like Vlad the Destroyer, and just like
right.
ridiculous.
There's a moment where they're like,
it's when they're sentencing him.
when they're sentencing him. They call off his 45 different noms de guerre, and
it's like a Rocky movie. He's just
Right.
all of the nicknames.
but like, he is committed to his bullshit, even though he has no right to be, because his character's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be higher on a better day for me. And not that this is a bad one, just something is not right about this movie for me. So, 3 jocks. Sorry to bring you guys down.
High jocks is high jocks. I can't quite go 5 for a couple of reasons. I can definitely go 4 jocks. I think its main problem is that by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, I will have forgotten 90% of this movie. And I will forever remember it as that movie where a bunch of shit blew up. Most of it probably shouldn't have. But
And there were bad holograms.
yeah, but I mean, just like on just sheer volume of stuff we like, this movie is nonstop stuff we like. It's just that the motivation for it never quite makes sense. It's just if there had been just a little more tying it together or contextualizing, or just at least the geography of it made sense, you know. But it's real dumb, and it's real fun. Like it's breezy. It just goes right by. Like, man, it's just stuff explodes, and then there's a gunfight, and then there's titties, and then hologram dudes are fighting. You know, everyone in it is that guy, and it's just fun. It's just dumb fun.
This is one of those I kind of immediately want to watch it, and I'm like already running through my head like, who can I show this to?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for me, it's that one.
Yeah.
One of those where I would watch this again right now.
Yeah. It's just, you know, the good guy lead isn't great. I like the bad guy. I think for some reason, just him being so invested in it because he wrote it, just makes perfect sense, you know. So I enjoyed his weird brand of acting.
Yep.
So yeah, 4 jocks. It's something.
I think without delivering someone directly to a 5 jocks movie, this would be an excellent introduction to what we do.
Yeah.
Like, I know you think it's a 5 jocks movie, but like without delivering somebody directly into Robot Jocks, be like, all right, this is generally what we're going for.
Right.
Now, here are the best examples of this breed.
Yeah. It's just, here's a movie with a ton of practical special action
Yes.
effects that movies today can't do. Like,
I think I was the highest rating on like Action USA. Someone brought up in the chat, but I mean, it's the same kind of thing of like, how the fuck have I never heard of this? How does this have this much practical crazy shit?
Yeah.
You know, like that stuntmen were willing to die for a movie like this.
Yes.
yeah, this
You know,
movie.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
Fucking
Robot. I
hologram,
mean, the Robot Jock still has some pedigree. It's like, you know, Stuart Gordon had made some things
Oh,
that
yeah.
people were fans of.
Yeah.
You know, like Reanimator is a cult classic. And,
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like, but this is like, I've never heard of this before today. I saw it, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So
And is like, there are like 5 shitty practical effects in this movie. The rest of them are pretty good, actually. Like,
I think the worst like effect in it is when like the rubber suits melt in the fire, but they're supposed to look like shitty rubber suits.
yeah, because they are shitty rubber
Yeah.
suits melting. The hologram effect is not that great.
No.
It's interesting. It's not just a weird shimmer and a dude like on a different plate
Yeah.
that's been matched into the film. I mean, they've done something to it.
Yeah, they did a fairly good job, like blending it in, compositing the shot. Thank you, brain, for working for once. They did a fairly good job compositing it. It's just it looks real weird.
It does.
and it stands out, even though it's blended well. It just stands out because it's a weird looking effect. But like all of the goofy, future 1995 future sets and all of the little tiny props look really good, and like all of the weird weapons look really cool. Like Tiny Lister's like crazy future gun
Right.
looks fucking awesome. It
has like 8 guns bolted on
right,
it.
eight barrels.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those diffuser things that goes on the end of a hairdryer, but looks cool. Bunch of the stuff just looks really solid. So high marks there.
Yeah.
Good job, movie.
Well, hi, Mark.
Well, high marks.
There it is.
All right, well, let's take a break, shall we?
Alrighty.
Behold the justice of that poster. Ooh. Hologram man's coming for you.
Oh.
Hologram, the sky's the limit.
Okay.
All right. Jesus Christ, that movie.
Yep. It's a movie.
I still don't know how you found this. I'm glad for it. I just don't know how it happened.
When we watched Rage, I was like, oh, we need to watch more movies from this company. And then I went and got all the movies from this company. And then this one I'd put in my sci-fi folder because I was like, I could watch that for a sci-fi thing. And then got to where John Amos was blowing up cars in the beginning. It was just like, no.
Yeah.
This has to be something we all watch, because if this is the first 3 minutes.
You made the right call.
And we were in there thinking, like, this movie's going to blow its wad. Like, it's doing too much in the beginning, and there's going to be nothing in the rest of it. It stays consistent throughout of just blowing shit up.
Yep. We've had a good run.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Last 3 have been solid.
Yeah.
So, I got the same thing you got for second half, unless you have anything else.
I'll keep the other thing for until
Okay.
next week.
And we got a couple emails
Okay.
we can do.
I do not believe that I have anything because
I was mentioned briefly that I watched that show about that city.
Okay.
Atlanta.
Yes. I love reading people on Letterboxd that are just like want their movies to be just totally literal and like not have any metaphor or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're just like, why not waste my time with this? Just tell me the story you want to tell me. Don't piss around. Make me figure shit out. Don't make me use my brain to think about shit.
You stupid son of a bitch.
Can't believe they'd nominate this shit for Oscars. What the fuck?
Just fuck the fish. What did you do it?
Yeah.
Why won't you just do it?
Don't piss around.
Yeah.
All right. So let's have a good time
People are-
talking about this next movie.
People are weird.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. All right, welcome back.
Hey, second half, half number 2.
BMFcast.
All right.
All right.
Time for the not necessarily bad movie half.
No, we should talk about good movies.
All right.
I saw a great movie.
Did you know?
Yeah.
I did. I finally saw the Star Wars movie.
Oh, you saw the Star Wars?
Yeah, you know, all the kids have been talking about the Star Wars.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
With the Luke Skywalker and the Obi-Wan Kenobi. And
Yeah.
This is part of a series, right?
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 13.
All right.
I somehow successfully avoided every single spoiler. Like
You are talking about The Last Jedi.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm clarifying because
Correct.
this is going to go into history, and you're just saying the Star Wars.
Right, I am. I apologize. The Last Jedi. I avoided everything. Like, I knew people were pissed. I never bothered to find out why they were, except for we don't like women, which is like, I feel bad for you. But, like,
I don't.
I knew there was an outcry about this movie. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't hear anybody bitching about anything whatsoever. So it was a pure viewing. And
You muted a lot of stuff on Twitter.
I did. I did mute all of the basic things, and then as things were filtering through, because people found new ways to dump their garbage using different ways to come up with an acronym for it, I would mute those things too. But luckily never saw anything that would be considered a spoiler. That movie's terrific. I think it is better than The Force Awakens. I think that it goes a long way in that The Force Awakens felt like a thing where even though it was a new movie, it still felt like the first Star Wars, whereas this didn't feel like any of the other Star Wars movies. Like, I didn't know where it was going. Obviously, it had shades of Empire in there with the training and dark side and stuff like that. But I kept watching it thinking I knew what the thing was going to be. Like a scene would go in a certain direction, and I'd be like, oh, this must be the thing that people are going to hate. And then the scene would course correct itself to do the thing that makes perfect sense. And I was like, well, what are people pissed at? I just, for the life of me, I have no idea what people hate so much about this movie. I honestly don't. I have some nitpicks about certain things that happen along the way. I think that one character has the revelation to do a suicide run that seemed to come way later than it should have come to that character. Like, the character should have immediately decided, oh no, I've already decided to suicide myself anyway. I might as well do this for the greater good. It seems like that character seemed to stall for a while before doing that. So I had a problem with that. And then I kind of had a problem with like 3 other characters in the rest of the movie also decided to do suicide runs. And it's just like, no, you can't. That cannot be the dramatic crux of your movie over and over and over again. So, but that's really kind of it. I really don't have much of a problem about anything else in that movie. I thought the parts that were supposed to be funny were hilarious. I thought that they didn't bash you over the head with the nostalgia parts. Like, there were just certain scenes where it was just like, they could have hit this harder, but I'm kind of glad that they're not. You know, it's like when Luke and R2 first kind of realized that they're both there. It was emotional as a fan of Star Wars, but it wasn't like they were just beating you over the head with this, look, nostalgia, look, characters.
The way that scene plays out makes sense.
Yes. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, and I was amazed
it's
how...
not gratuitous.
Right. And I was almost amazed at how little the classic Star Wars characters, aside from a couple of them, are in this movie. Like, C-3PO is barely a blip on the radar in this movie. He's almost a glorified cameo. And I was kind of okay with that. It was like, you really didn't need... You need to let the new characters do their thing. And this movie gave them a great shot to do that. So...
Yeah, I think, not to jump in, but I mean, it's kind of like what I was saying about the newer Star Trek trilogy. Like, why I like 1 and 3 better than 2 is 2 feels like it's completely built on nostalgia. Every tent pole of that movie is built on, you need to have previous knowledge or else this just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's why I like 1 and 3 better, is it's like, no, just go do your own thing. Be your own story. And this, I felt... like I said, I feel like Force Awakens was... No, it'll be okay. Like, come back to Star Wars. This isn't going to be the prequels. Look, it's safe and it's warm and it's what you know, and we'll ease you into these new characters. This one was like, now you're free to make your own story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it again as well. I think it has some pacing issues in that some things it's willing to take its sweet time with, and other things it rushes through very quickly.
Yes.
And jumps back and forth between too many things at once.
There are some things towards the end where characters end up in certain places where I was like, wait, how did you get there?
Yeah. I think it's not a breakneck pace. It's like a rushed pace.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, cuts between too many locations too quickly, too often. Because there's a section in the middle where it's just like 45-second scene.
Yeah.
2-minute scene. 45-second scene. 2-minute scene. You're like, whoa. Like, let one play out before you jump here. But, I enjoy a lot of the ideas in it, even if I think the execution of the filmmaking is sloppy in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
But I still enjoy it and still don't understand the people that just like despise it, which is still just, you know, in watching it today, I said on Twitter, I'm like, anyone who can watch that first battle scene in space and be like, you know, and legitimately say this is the worst movie I've ever seen is a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, but like, watch more movies.
Yeah.
Anyone who can watch that lightsaber fight and go, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. No. Like, objectively, you cannot say that unless you've seen like 4 other movies, and 3 of those were Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, I mean, it's like, you can't, like, that's the only circumstances where you can be like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Because just because you don't like what happens to characters in a movie does not make it a bad movie.
Yeah.
It does not make it a terrible, worst movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to lump it in, but I feel like that's where we're at with the Marvel movies too. Is like, now we're at a point where at first it was like, holy shit, they're pulling this off, and now it's like, oh, they're still pulling it off, but maybe they're not going in the direction I wanted them to go in, so fuck them. You know, like, because it's a property where it's like, people just build entire fantasies in their head, and the longer they go on, it's like when it starts deviating from what they've built up, it's like, no.
Well, yeah, it's like what we've said with Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah.
Like even though that was only 4 years, 4 years was more than enough for everyone to make their own sequel in their head.
Yeah.
And then what they got was like, nope. Yeah. Even though you watch that highway chase and you're like, holy shit, this is one of the best action scenes I've ever seen. But everyone still hates that movie.
Yeah.
You know?
So the one thing that I seem to learn after then going public and saying, "Hey, I saw the Star Wars, and what's the deal? What do you people not like about that movie?" The one like phrase that kept coming up over and over again was, "Oh, all the Casino Planet stuff was stupid. It made no sense, and it shouldn't be watched." And I'm like, okay, first of all, the bulk of that movie is basically a submarine movie with it's just 2 giant ships in space, just back and forth talking about things on each bridge of each of these ships. You have to break it up with something super colorful and super breakneck pace and that. So that whole diversion to that didn't bother me at all. Plus, it seems super important to the world building that the story they're trying to tell is that it's not about the Last Jedi. It's about the continuation of this force. And this is the exposure of it to a culture that doesn't have it, isn't aware of it, isn't talking about it. And it's just injecting it into one more place to where a rebellion can swell. It made perfect sense to me that that's what that was about. The only thing that bothered me was that when they were all talking about, we've got to go get this gambler, I was like, fucking Lando, let's do this. Billy D. Williams right now. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And was super, like, I was pissed when it was Justin Theroux. I was like, well, that's fucking dumb. I like Justin Theroux, but if that's going to be who it is, fine. And then it was like, swerve, it's not. And it's shadowy figure in the jail cell. Who is it?
Well,
it's fucking Lando. Here we go. And I'm like, fuck, it's mealy-mouthed Benicio del Toro. Like, he's not even playing an alien, and I don't understand anything he's saying.
I mean, technically, he's an alien to us.
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. But, yeah. So, I mean, if my biggest... If there was if I'm going to bitch about something not being in the movie that I want, it's that fucking Lando isn't in it. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say this, on a rewatch, a lot of that gets easier because you know where the movie's going, and you're not like... Though I did find myself through that whole sequence going, let's go back to Rey and Luke. That's and Kylo Ren, because that stuff's way more interesting. You know, and it's like, and I understand also that it's there for the message part of it, which is like, okay, you know, like, and that's the thing about Rian Johnson is someone he's willing to give up like perfect, flawless, structured storytelling if he wants to get a message across.
Right.
And I think like that's a little bit of a sacrifice there in that, you know, there are ways to do that better. I'm not going to go through, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, here's my perfect movie doing it. But, you know, I feel like that's somewhat clumsy. And the fact that hope and spark are said over and over and over in that last half hour.
Yeah.
Far too many times.
Sure.
Where it's like we get it. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, that's it. They're like, Star Wars is pandering to me. And it's like, yeah, Star Wars is for 10-year-olds. Just so you know. Stuff for 10-year-olds is going to pander to you.
Yeah, they have to hit 10-year-olds over the head because they don't have the attention span. So,
but I'm going to tell you the weirdest, nitpickiest thing I have about this movie.
All right.
the costumers don't know how to make flattering costumes for any of the people in the movie. Everyone looks frumpy and weird. Like, Rey's outfit doesn't fit her right. Kylo Ren, you know, everyone's seen that shot of him in the fucking...
In the Titty Master
Yeah,
pants.
whatever the hell. Like,
Yeah.
like
In his Jack LaLanne pants.
It sounds really dumb. It sounds
No,
like a really dumb
I
complaint.
noticed that too. Because
But
like,
I
you know,
feel like the costuming is really bad in that movie, and like nobody's clothes fit them properly.
yeah, whatever the planet, whatever Luke's, you know, hideout planet is, like that outfit for Rey, I'm like, she's gorgeous. You know, she's in shape for this role, and it's like, you look dumpy. Like, I mean, I don't mean that like mean. It's just like she looked weird and
Yeah,
like
you're wearing
squished in.
drapes.
Well, no, I mean, she just looked like she was squished into a costume that wasn't made for her. I totally got that in this viewing. Is like, well, obviously she's, you know, she's gorgeous and she's probably in great shape for
Yeah.
this movie. And it's like, you know.
Yeah, the costuming is just, it's very strange. That, like, there's something about it,
Yeah, no,
you know,
I'm with you.
and with Finn as well. Like, there's a shot of him standing in a hallway, like he's in the center of the frame, and they pan back from him, and I'm just like, that doesn't fit him.
No.
Like, it's just,
And we,
it's
we
very,
know he's in great shape. We've seen the pictures on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, and I know that's like totally nitpicky,
Yeah,
but
I know,
it's something
I'm with you.
that bothers me. It's like, where, you know, I'm sorry, but these characters are supposed to look cool. I understand if it's like a character that's supposed to look dumpy, like Benicio del Toro's character, but
Yeah. He's
they're
supposed to
not.
look like he hasn't slept
Yeah.
in 12 days.
yeah, but everyone else shouldn't look
Right.
dumpy like that. It's
Right.
very,
Yeah.
it's strange.
That is. I
So-
agree.
I think the only one that I can think of that looked right was Laura Dern's character.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
about the only one who looked, well, her and Leia, because Leia's
Yeah.
supposed to,
Right.
you know, Leia's not supposed to be in like some sort of like fantastical gold bikini, right? Not anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are about the only two that kind of looked right, because they're generals and they need to be wearing something that's sort of
Yeah.
not normal, but something plain, I guess.
Oh, I mean, the Imperial outfits were Imperial outfits. They probably
Yeah.
didn't even
Yeah.
change those.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, you had that last, put it on again.
Yeah. So, two things. One, the thing that told me that I was going to like this movie and I was on board from the rest of the time after this happened. I was like hesitant up until that point. When Kylo Ren smashes the fuck out of that dumbass looking helmet of his, I was just like, someone has made the smartest decision ever. That is the best thing I've ever seen. Because that is a dumb looking helmet. It has never looked cool. It looks fucking stupid. And he beats the living fuck out of it until it doesn't exist anymore. And I was just like, okay, I'm all in. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
and it serves the practical purpose of, hey, I can understand what he's saying now.
yes, because he doesn't have that dumb generic robot voice. So, that was awesome.
I never had a problem understanding it through the mask.
I thought the mask was so stupid looking. He just looked like a duck, and it was just real embarrassing. It was like, you don't look cool at all. You look like an idiot. But
You just have too much Duck Vader on your mind.
apparently, yes. The other thing, which is just basically a general overall comment about Star Wars fans, and it's something that they need to understand, which is that you saw the original movies when you were 6, and you didn't have a frame of reference of things that were good or bad when you were 6. You liked everything. When I was 6, I liked everything. Like, everything. Just like, if you watched something, it was the best. It was just... I wasn't watching movies going, man, that was terrible. It was just like... I knew that, like, Disney stuff was better than other animated stuff, but I still liked it all. And now that you're an adult and you have a frame of reference as to things you like and things you don't, you're going into it with an expectation of, this is going to give me exactly what I want. And you need to understand that these are stories people are telling from that they want to tell. They're not telling you what you want to hear. They're telling you what they want to tell. And maybe you don't like some of it. That's fine. But to go on this, like, you're doing it wrong, like, this isn't Star Wars, I must petition to get this erased from canon and start over. No, fuck you. You're out of your goddamn mind. What is wrong with you? I just don't get it. Like, you have no frame of reference when you're a child of anything just being fucking garbage. You know?
Yeah.
Everyone liked everything. Your brain is just give me information, shoot colors into my face. This is the best thing ever. And you know, now you get to a point where you've seen enough things and you go, yeah, some sci-fi is good, some is bad. But man, to be like so upset, like, Luke's story didn't go the direction I wanted it to. Fuck that movie. It's like, then you fucking write it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just shut up. You write it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we've talked about the nostalgia color glasses.
Yeah.
With so much stuff that we cover where we're like, you know, and it's almost like you don't want to revisit some of that stuff.
Sure.
Because it's like, I remember really liking this. You know, and I'm glad a lot of the things that I like from back then held up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Goonies is really the only one that truly sticks out in my mind as being like, I used to love this. Why?
Yeah. The only thing I'll say, and like, believe me, I have taken Star Wars off any sort of pedestal it was ever on. Like, you know, it was like, I am one of those people who's like, oh, the Holy Trilogy, blah, blah, you know, that kind of like dumb shit. And it's like, the only thing I will say in defense of like then versus now is I feel like there was a point in time when, and I think we're getting back to like an age of filmmakers again, you know, good or bad. I mean, I feel like it's like directors are able to make the movie that they want to make. But I feel like there was a special time post 1970s when you know certain people had kind of written these blank checks for themselves. Spielberg, Coppola, you know, Lucas, all these people. It was like, okay, you made a thing, it was pretty good. Next thing, we're hands off. You do what you want.
Right.
And I feel like in a lot of cases, they really were hands off. And I still feel like we get some studio meddling even in these quote unquote vanity projects. You know, and so I just feel like good or bad, you know, they made a complete and total like uncompromising movie vision sometimes then, and I feel like now it's like there's hardly anybody that's able to do that. You know, you get these indie movies like, we keep talking about it, but I mean like Moon is something. It's like, no, I think he like was given, you know, it was during a weird time. Remember, it was a whole weird strike thing. Like you have effects artists that are better than this budget movie should have. Blah blah blah. So it's like it's a weird quirk in like that fell in a crack of time where it's like this movie shouldn't exist and be as pure as it is,
right?
You know, and otherwise it would have just been an indie movie. But you know, otherwise, you go to indie movies now because like they're the like this is my total vision. You know, I made exactly what I'm going to make. But anything in this tentpole franchise thing, you're going to have studio fuckery. You know, it's going to happen. You're going to insert something for toy. You're going to do somebody's having a line for kid, or if it's a kids movie, you're going to have some line that's for adults. You know, it's like there's going to be something in it that just doesn't quite work. Because they're like, some person's like, make them say this, you know. So that's my only defense. I'm not saying like good or bad. I mean,
and like my wife pointed out to me when we were watching it. She was like, "There sure are a lot of critters in this movie." I thought about it for a second. I was like, my knee jerk reaction was, yeah, fucking marketing. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, no. I mean, the ones at the very end serve a purpose because it's a story purpose. The ones in the middle are part of an action sequence that makes sense. And the porgs
were literally just because there was puffins.
Right. They had to somehow create some sort of diversion from the actual birds that were on this island, so they just created these things, and then they put some gags in with them. Totally okay with that. It didn't seem like... None of it was like, here's the new toy they're going to sell you. It's just... It all made sense to me.
The only time it feels gratuitous to me is the casino scene. As far as like when they're actually in the casino and there's like little, like the guy trying to shove coins into.
That dude was awesome. That was fucking hilarious, and it pays off. It pays off because this drunk leprechaun, who's actually motion captured. It's Mark Hamill doing that little guy. It fills BB-8 up with coins that he uses as a weapon later. I mean, it pays off. I just think all that I just had no problem with it. Look, I'm not saying the movie's perfect, and I'm not saying you can't criticize it. I'm not saying that you're wrong if you do criticize it. I'm just saying take a step back from this thing you love and just go, hold on, maybe adults are other adults, of which I am also, are telling a story for children, and maybe I should kind of recognize that.
I think the thing to step back and look is like, you know, all the lines that people say from the original trilogy, kind of like repetitively. A lot of them are really bad and badly delivered lines. Yeah. And that's why people latched onto them.
They're not clever.
No, I just mean like there is a whole lot of badly delivered dialogue in the original trilogy movies that people repeat, and it's like it's really dumb, but like it's become just a thing you can say, and it's like, oh no, that's from a really good movie, but I deep in the back of my mind I know it's a bad line and a badly delivered line. Yeah. You know, just that came from behind. You know, just there's a lot of things we just like. Oh yeah, that's part of the thing. That's part of Star Wars, but it's badly delivered and badly written.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
You rebel scum. That's one of my favorites from Jedi.
Yes.
That guy was like, "This is my fucking moment."
Yeah.
You rebel scum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like I said, watch that shit again. Watch the original, unedited, non-fucked with overtime. Go watch those again.
Despecialized.
Yeah, watch the not even despecialized. I mean, like, go find the fucking Laserdisc rip. Like when it was the last time it was not fucked with by anybody, and watch how many bad things there are. I'm not shitting on original Star Wars trilogy. I'm saying it's not fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Is all.
I seem to remember in doing my research for watching the Despecialized that movie, Star Wars 77, was... They had like 5 different theatrical releases, within the first 6 months. They had changed.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there's even things that are not even from the original Star Wars.
Yeah, like there basically is no original theatrical release because there were 5 of them, and the first one nobody knows where that copy is.
Yeah,
like it was either burned or disposed of otherwise.
And the 78 or 79, when they knew where they were doing Empire and that it was going to be episode 5, they slapped episode 4 on it. Yeah,
yeah.
I think what people are probably talking about, the pure versions, is the one they saw on cable a million times. It's probably just whatever version that is. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys got anything else?
Hey, speaking of Lando,
Yeah, Lando.
there's my segue from 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
I decided to sort of marathon and get caught up on Atlanta. I know it's not a movie, but we sometimes talk about TV shows. Man, that I think I'm current. There might be one episode I haven't seen yet that came out this week. I don't remember what day of the week it comes out on because that's the future we live in. TVRs and on-demand shit. It's a really good show. First, I'll say that, and it's a very hard show to categorize. However, because it's not a drama, it's not a comedy. It's sometimes weird. It's sometimes really weird, but it's always good. I mean,
is it a dramedy?
No, it's. I mean, I didn't read this. I heard this via Mackie, who read it somewhere. That it totally made a lot of sense when you said it, because I think I began watching the show like expecting this kind of linear, like, no, everything is important and it will come back around again kind of thing. And you basically said that Donald Glover just stated that one of his biggest influences was Twin Peaks. And I was like, yeah, okay, that makes much more sense now. So I should stop thinking about this and sometimes realize weird is just weird, and that it doesn't have to mean anything. Because I think that's something I've kind of lost, like why I liked David Lynch for a certain period of time, is that there is sometimes just weird for weird's sake, and that a thing is just there because it's enjoyable to somebody and it doesn't have to mean anything.
Yeah, and that show's about like just tales from a city almost. And it's like, when you're in a big city, sometimes a guy on a bus is going to offer you a Nutella sandwich out of the blue, and you're going to be like, what the fuck was that all about? and you're never going to see that guy again, and you're never going to know.
And an hour later, you will have forgotten about it because other weird shit has happened, or you just like...
And that's the thing, like with serialized television, I think that this show specifically is bucking, is that with serialized television, everything means something. Everything has some kind of purpose. There's the plant in Walter White's backyard shows up later for a specific reason, and it's like, not everything has to mean something in your life. I didn't email this client today, and then 6 months from now, it's going to be like, oh, well, this paid off because suddenly he got a job from that client. It's like that. Life doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And I think I like kind of the randomness of that show.
Yeah, I mean, there's a through line, but it will jump in time and not really necessarily tell you. I mean, there's things that will show back up, or characters that will show back up, and there's kind of a progress of like that people are making through their lives in this, but it's not like, okay, 3 days later, or it's just like sometimes a month will pass, or maybe a year. You don't really know from scene to scene, it seems like, or episode to episode. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's not a comedy, but it is. It's hilarious at the same time. And I will say, like, I've noticed something about most modern comedies, and I know I just said this isn't necessarily a comedy. And I definitely wouldn't classify it as a sitcom. Comedy in modern day is either, it seems to be in one of two camps. It's either traditional sitcom, which is somebody tells a sort of innocuous lie and it compounds, and the people are bringing the shit upon themselves because they're just like continuing to be shitty throughout it. And then you have something that's kind of more possibly realistic, where Atlanta is just about the world continually shitting on people, you know, and it's funny, but like every once in a while you find yourself getting really frustrated too, because you're just like, fuck, you know, just like let that character catch a break. And like they're not doing anything wrong, you know, like just goddamn, like, you know, let up. Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's still just for situational stuff. It is very funny, and there will be little lines dropped that will pay off huge. Sometimes in the same episode, sometimes an episode later. But like there will be the slightest little reference to something that will just, you know, manifest into the greatest fucking joke ever.
Yep.
But yeah, it's good. You should watch it.
Yeah. And I know we're only like a season and a few episodes in, but Darius is one of my favorite TV characters of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost like
Darius is the fucking best.
Yeah, like first episode, it was pretty much like, well, because you had said like, I think I just remember you like there was one. I don't remember if you dropped the name or if you just like there was one character you were really like. And one episode in, I was like, it's Darius, right? Like, because this first episode, I was like, he's fucking great.
Darius is your friend who's stoned all the time, but is actually funny
And wise.
Yeah.
Like the wisest person on the
he,
show too.
Well, yeah, but he basically has that stoned wisdom.
I don't understand.
But but it's actually funny and not annoying. You know, like stoned wisdom usually is. And yeah, he's fucking great. And like,
there's one line he has. Every time I think about it, it's so good. It makes me laugh. I can't say it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, but also his summation of what Florida Man is and why Florida Man exists at the beginning of the season
is so good.
Yeah, because he's also a conspiracy theorist.
Oh,
but in the funniest way that someone can be a conspiracy theorist about like just the dumbest shit. So yeah, Darius is awesome.
Yeah, watch Atlanta. Also, I don't know what the hell FX's rules are, because holy shit, I guess you can do practically anything on TV.
FX don't care.
Apparently, at a certain point in time on you know, because like at first it was like, oh yeah, they're saying shit. I know you can say shit. They say shit on Always Sunny. I was like, oh fuck, and I was like, okay, I don't even know what the rules are anymore.
FX
do whatever.
does not care.
Okay.
They have the movies. Why would they care?
That's true.
Yeah, and then there's like almost titties one time. I mean, like slight blurring. I was like, yeah, I don't. Okay, I don't even know what your rules are anymore. I don't care. It's good. It's a good show.
Yeah. We have emails, but we started late, so we're going to save them for next week.
All right.
Sorry, emailers. However, because there's stuff that will spawn discussion.
Yeah.
And we kind of prefer that. So if people want to email us and give us suggestions for like conversations, topics to discuss,
Yeah,
that are not, and please not like list me your top 5 blank.
Right.
Like I hate lists. Like give us a question that's a discussion.
Yes.
Because like we don't
Spawn a discussion.
We want all of your correspondence. However, and we do like appreciate getting a movie recommendation every once in a while. Like one comes through and it's like, as we said, you have to sell us on it, because we have a stack of movies that we are waiting to watch that would take us for 10 years of podcasting probably.
I think we have another 419 episodes, or however many we're on, worth of movies in the list.
So I mean, you have if you're gonna bring something to that pile, you got to sell it.
Yeah.
But
Hard sell.
yeah, hard sell. But what we're really looking for,
Topics.
something to talk about.
So,
Let's
give
give
us
us
something to talk about. A little something to figure out.
But
How
yeah,
about love?
if they're going to do that,
BMF at BMFcast.com.
if they want to call,
9105-JOCKS-BMF.
if they want bonus shows on Patreon,
Patreon.com/BMFcast.
otherwise go to the website.
BMFcast.com.
Look on the right-hand side.
Buttons.
All of it's there. Socials, whatever. All of it.
Yeah. What about, did you mention this lonely fucker right here?
I
You
did.
did.
9105-JOCKS-BMF
Okay.
or 910556-9263.
I'm telling you, I'm pointing. It's not working with the multi-camera, but
It's the Garfield phone.
he's that fucker is lonely. He hasn't rang.
Garfield is the loneliest number right now.
There he is.
Right.
Pointing at that fucker right there on the table. Garfield. Phone. Like all good ninjas use.
Yeah.
Garfield.
Be a good ninja and get in touch with us via Garfield phone
So go Ninja. Go Ninja, go.
to 9105-BMF.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/BMFcast. Give us money.
Get stuff. Right.
Get stuff.
Get rewards for it.
In return, you get things.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get out of here, shall we?
All right.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. We'll see you next time. We love you.
Motherfuckers.
All right. Did anyone think of an intro?
I did not think of an intro.
This week on the BMFcast, introduction.
No.
If you're international and you would like to be in contact with the BMFcast via telephony of some sort, you may record an MP3 and email it to bmf@bmfcast.com. Or an OGG, I guess.
I mean, your phone probably has
wave.
a cool little voice recorder. You just hit that, you hit the little share button, type in an email address, and
Yes.
that's the sound.
Zoop.
That's the sound of the email.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make a squishy sound. Emails. What is the cat doing right now?
What?
It's under your chair doing something.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, cat.
Hi, cat!
She just likes to hang out near me because I'm cool.
Hey, cat.
All right, I got to get out of here.
Okay.
All right.
Shall
I'm
we?
Mackie.
But good luck with your good luck with your introduction.
I'm Charlo.
We don't have a podcast tomorrow, do we?
I'm
No.
Hardco.
Next
no,
week.
next
All right,
week.
good.
Harbco.
I was gonna say tomorrow's bad.
Yeah.
Good thing we don't have a show. No, that Patreon shit to do.
Yeah, fuck him.
Right.
No, we just it's mid fortnight.
Mm-hmm. It's only a half fortnight.
Yeah.
Right.
Also known as a week.
Oh.
Week. I don't understand.
Pretty weak.
Half fortnight. A half fortnight. HA apostrophe fortnight.
Right.
Fortnight.
Do you want to do some Particle Man lyrics for Hologram Man?
I thought it. I didn't want to say it, but
Hologram man.
Hologram man blows up everything a
Hologram
hologram can. What's he like?
It's not important.
Really bad haircut.
Hologram man.
Hologram man.
hair.
Yeah, I could do that.
What's that on your computer screen? Hologram hand.
Although, haven't we done a Particle
Yes,
Man
we did.
intro?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
we
used
have.
like the
We
MIDI
have.
version.
Yeah.
Which
kindergarten cop or something.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah,
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, it was.
Kindergarten
Good call.
Cop,
We could
Kindergarten
still,
Cop.
we could.
Yeah, we can still
it
do
again.
it. I mean, I don't give a fuck.
Give me notepad.
We fixed the stream this weekend.
We did.
Did
We
you delete that
tested it.
archive? Or is it just still sitting out there?
I made it private,
Oh, did you?
so you and I can watch it
Aww.
whenever we want.
I can
watch it too.
I can always go watch the Erasure dance party.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's a Vimeo video someone put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't get flagged on Vimeo. Vimeo don't care.
Nah.
Vimeo's just like, hey, just come watch it.
This
Here.
is where you watch music.
Yeah.
Come to Vimeo.
How can I explain?
Oh, get flagged. It was a good time.
Oh my Jesus. All right. I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Did I do it in actual They Might Be Giants voice, or did I do it in announcer They Might Be Giants voice?
I think you did announcer They Might Be Giants for kindergarten. I seem to remember Kindergarten Cup, Kindergarten Cup. But I approve of our They Might Be Giants giantsing. Hey, call me Dr. Worm.
Good morning, how are you? I'm Hologram. I'm interested in bombs. Oh, god damn it.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Bad time.
They call me Hologram. Alright, okay.
Oh, I guess you did
Yeah.
that. I thought it was more announcery. Should I take us off the stream so we don't get flagged if you're going to play shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's mini version, but...
Yeah, take us off.
All right. Sorry, guys. You don't get to watch us make the sausage.
Yeah, no. Get the fuck out.
Bye, stream.
Yeah, you see it. You hear it on Friday or
Yeah.
something.
Or something.
Bye. Love y'all.